obviously we got Mac hitched this weekend,
Yep.
and couldn't have timed it any better. My Uber drops me off, and Bob and his wife, they get there right at the same time. And I look over, and Jen goes, "You might want to take your jacket off. It's an outside wedding." And I said, "Oh, it is." Bob's got his jacket on his shoulder. He goes, "Oh, yeah. Kansas in July. Outside's great." So at that point, I was like, all right, well, we've lost this bet. We're already in. Leave the jacket on and just earn it. So, yeah, it was a very beautiful wedding. Happy for both of them as they're on their way to Hawaii to celebrate their honeymoon. Mac will be back in another week. So, Nathan, you're stuck with these two idiots.
So you're hitting the dry cleaners up this afternoon.
No. Hey, look, let's just throw it out there. Dusty and I each got our stuff dry cleaned for the wedding, right? He had one suit cleaned. I had a couple of suits. I just had lying around for a while. I was like, took it all at once, right?
Yeah.
I had 7 pieces, and it was $64 to have 7 pieces cleaned. It was 2 suit coats, 2 pair of suit pants, and 3 button-down shirts. It was $64. You had the same experience, right?
Mine was $34
For one suit, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know if that's a lot though.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm sticker shocked.
I don't know. That's like the second time I've gotten like a suit cleaned, and the first time I was just told to drop it off.
Yeah, right.
Like I didn't never pay for it, so I didn't know if that was too expensive.
Oh God, yeah, that was really expensive. Does anybody know a dry cleaner that's doing stuff for under $34 to get our suits dry cleaned? And mine came back and still had a stain on the damn thing.
No, congrats to Mac.
Yeah.
Well, so we weren't able to make the wedding. He did give us an invite later on. People canceled. We're very honored to have that invite. But we had a friend who's moving away after last weekend. It was her last weekend in Lawrence. She has this favorite restaurant in Lawrence. That's her request, that we all go out as a group of friends to this restaurant.
Where'd you go?
Lo and behold, it's 715 in downtown Lawrence, okay? Lo and behold, the only place they had available for a reservation of our sides on the patio.
Right, of course.
So we take it. And so 5 o'clock reservation, probably right around the same time they're having their first kiss at the wedding.
Right.
It was not fun being outside at that point in this weekend. Mm-hmm. What was the heat index for you guys? It was like 116.
I mean,
it was insane.
Hotter than F. Yeah. I mean, just sweating bullets.
I didn't know it was an outside wedding until you showed up.
No, I don't know.
Yes. I don't know. I didn't know if it said it on the thing. Maybe I should have known by knowing the venue, but I didn't know the venue until the day of.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was an outdoor wedding. I think at this stage of the game, I just assume everything, unless it's like January or something like that, I just assume everything is going to be an outdoor wedding. Yeah.
If I'd have known, I'd have worn the Quentin Lucas.
Shorts?
I'd have worn the shorts with the shirt.
Yeah.
Shirt, tie, shorts?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning, gents. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Spencer. Have yourself one hell of a day.
That's right.
Make your dinner inside. By the way, I haven't told you guys this, so I went to a concert last night.
Okay.
It's my buddy's wife's favorite band. She's getting ready to have a birthday, or she already had a birthday. She'll have a birthday soon in November, I should say. J.J. Gray and the Mofros.
No, I've never heard of J.J. Gray and the the Mofros.
That's right.
Okay.
It was at Knuckleheads last night.
Yeah.
So I'll get through the show, I promise. Big nap after. He was what they call swamp rock.
So it's like Louisiana type rock,
yeah,
like Southern type of rock.
So he's from Jacksonville.
Okay.
Hey, talk like this,
Yeah,
man.
right. Okay,
you know what I'm saying, man?
yeah,
Like, hey, man, it's hot. It's hot in Florida. It ain't this effing hot. I'm like, yeah, dude. Everybody was sweating. The people watching was electric.
Oh, I can only imagine a Sunday night at Knuckleheads featuring a guy with a Cajun accent.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one swampy last night.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like
swamp ass,
man.
It
was like Mac's wedding. Like, we knew we were going to this concert. We knew it was Sunday night. And it was just one of those things, man. You just got to own it, man.
Yeah, you do.
And you just sit there and you're just beating sweat off your forehead and you're listening to like this swamp rock. I'm like, I've never not been in Kansas City, but been in Kansas City. And I mean, Knuckleheads is kind of a sick venue. Mm-hmm. Like, that would be my size of venue that I'd want to play
it's perfect, yeah.
Like, T-Mobile will be cool. Obviously, selling out like an NFL stadium would be awesome. But like Knuckleheads or like Starlight would be fun. Actually, I'll be at Starlight on Saturday. But, like, it's one of those things, first time ever. I found out last year it was across the street from the zoo.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Never been to Starlight, so that'll be my first time
What
on
Saturday.
What are you seeing? Turnpike Troubadours.
Oh, nice. Good. Yeah.
Love that band.
And it won't be that hot on Saturday, I don't think. Only in the 90s.
I mean, you can't top what we had this weekend.
No, you really
so
can't.
So if you can get through that, you're undefeated. Because they said there's a cold front moving in tonight.
That's right.
going to be only 89 tomorrow.
That's exactly right. We're dropping 10 degrees, brother. I mean, let's go, man.
Got an Arctic blast coming in July. It's only going to be 90, not 100 death.
And there may be a little rain all week as well, so we're kind of hoping maybe for that. Maybe it cools things off a little bit. But yeah, this past weekend, man, from the heat standpoint, I don't know that I've ever experienced a weekend that has been hotter or days that have been hotter than what we saw. And it was not even just the heat on top of the humidity is what really got everybody, I think, going crazy this past weekend. And so this is one more day of that, another day of like basically just stay inside. And tomorrow, as Dusty mentioned, all this weather is supposed to break and it's only supposed to be in the 90s.
Yeah, Arctic blast.
So, hey, it's July, it's August, it's training camp, it's all that kind of stuff. School's getting ready to start. This is the kind of weather we kind of expect this time of year.
Yeah, you just have to bite the bullet. I mean, because think about it. We're 6 weeks away from like the perfect time of year. Leaves change.
I would say further than that anymore. I think we're about 8 to 10 weeks away from that still.
So you're saying like November 1st?
I'm saying like 8 weeks from now, 7, 8, 9 is the end of September.
Yeah.
So yeah, middle of October, about 10 weeks probably.
It is always
still,
hot in
right?
September's
always very hot. Yeah, September is one of those months where it's like March, where you think, all right, it's March, it's going to start to warm up a little bit, but we all know everything doesn't start now until about April. And September is one of those months now too, where you're like, oh, I can't wait for it because it's going to cool off. And it never does. It never really does till October.
This is like prime HOA fighting season with the residents because some people will close their pools after Labor Day and be like, oh, that's just tradition. It's like, so there's still 3 weeks where it's 95 degrees outside. Let's maybe not close the pool. It's like, well, we're going to close. It's a hell of a ride to listen to your friends who have HOA.
Well, what's also interesting about it, too, though, is like when the kids were little, we would go to the pools in Johnson County, right? Overland Park had city pools all over the place. They're starting to close a lot of these now. Blue Jackets closing, and some of these other ones are shutting down. But they would all close down about August 15th. And I would always say to them, Jen, I go, these pools are closing on August 15th.
It's the peak of the summer. It's the peak heat.
But here's what it is. All the lifeguards are going back to college. They have nobody to work. And so once all the kids go back to school, whether it's high school or college, there's nobody there to work. And so if you got nobody there to work, well, you can't open up your pool. And so that ends up being the problem. So that's why all these places shut these pools down so damn early. But I'm with you. If you got a subdivision pool, a neighborhood pool, why don't you keep that thing open? Who's it hurting by keeping that open? Because those neighborhood pools don't have lifeguards. Just keep the damn thing open for another couple weeks.
Right. Because, I mean, even on the weekends, like, you want your kids to go back to school. But, I mean, sometimes on the weekends, you're like, well, I don't really have any plans. There's not football really being played on Saturday that I care about. I would rather just go to the pool and let my kids just enjoy it, and because it's still 95 outside.
It's still August outside, so keep those things open.
So did they keep it short, or was it a 45-minute ceremony?
Oh, very short. I mean, 12 minutes.
Yeah, less than 12.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good
No,
for them.
They were in and out. They are very good on their
and
part
that call
to respect
comes right
their
from
guests.
the bride. Like she knows how hot it is outside.
Like, have you ever been hit with Fescoe sarcasm?
No.
Okay.
Enlighten me. Yeah.
So I don't know if he knows this, but like you can't really Bob and I are very bad together in serious moments.
Yeah.
Like he reminds me of my buddy Nick. Like one time my buddy Nick and I went to the Elks Lodge just with my buddy's dad. He's like, oh yeah, come drink, good prices, it's fine. It was a good time. And they did like the 12 dings to like honor the fallen members. Not sure why. But I look at my buddy, and he just starts laughing.
Right.
And then, of course, I can't stop. So we're sitting on the groom's side of the wedding. There are 19 people invited to this wedding. And Bob's wife goes to the guy next to him and goes, so do you know Mac? And Bob goes, it's an 80-person wedding. You're asking if he knows the groom. And I was just like, damn it, Bob. I can't do this right now. Can't do this right now. Can't do this right now. I'm already miserable in sweat. So do you know Mac? 80-person wedding, honey, and he doesn't know the groom. There's only 79 people there that aren't Mac. 2 of them work with him, so we're down to 77. One of them knows him. We're down to 76.
Yeah. So you know Mac?
I think I heard it was at my wedding that Bob was like he was either taking something off of the person in front of him's jacket or laying something on the jacket, or he was you were up to some sort of nonsense. And so I imagine the New York trip was hilarious with the two of your all's comedy.
yeah,
So that would have been great to be a fly on the wall.
I mean, YouTube
I
sensation.
I don't think we stopped laughing the first night we got down there because when we watched like
Balls up.
balls deep or something. Yeah. And I made some. The Royals were getting shelled, right? The Royals were getting shelled by the Yankees. I mean,
it was
shelled.
a Tuesday.
I got up and got 2 Surfsides. They came back. It was 6-0. Bob goes, "Well, you missed 3 home runs." I'm like, "How many?" And I come back and I'm like, "God, I'm tanked." And I'm like, "Man, what are we gonna ask Q when we go back?" Well, I guess we asked him what he thinks of Slugger and FM radio, and you'd have thought somebody died in the bathroom. It was that. For like 10 minutes. And Bob goes, "That's it. Ask him that when we get back." So, Matt, what do you think of Slugger and FM radio? Coming up on the other side, speaking of the Royals, there's a new king that sits at the throne. It was a special moment. Steve Stewart nailed it. We'll play it for you next on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control are unbelievable. I mean, even in hot weather like this, they know what to do to keep your lawn looking awesome because they're college-educated professionals, right? They understand what it takes to grow the perfect lawns right here in Kansas City. Whether you're living in Johnson County, whether you're living up north, out south, it doesn't matter where. Everybody's lawn is different. Everybody's yard is different. And that's why the college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control understand what to do to give you that best lawn in Kansas City. And that's what happened to us, man. Like 12 years ago, we're looking around going, this lawn. And we tried and we tried and we tried. And then we finally just said, you know what? We're done. Let's call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control and get them out here to fix this yard. And they did just that. And now, because the yard looks great, we love to enjoy it. We like to sit outside in the spring and summer and make sure we don't get eaten alive by those mosquitoes. That's why we have the mosquito dome up over the house, because it keeps the mosquitoes, the ticks, and the fleas all out, so our backyard is perfect for us and our dog as well. Right now, Aspen's going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
DQ presents Being a Miracle Maker. July 30th is Miracle Tree Day. You buy a blizzard tree at participating locations, and DQ will donate $1 or more to Children's Miracle Network to benefit your local children's hospital. DQ, happy tastes good.
It's Telly Tire and Auto Center Summer Sale. Buy 4 new Continental tires and save up to $350 with instant mail and rebates when you add installation, road hazard protection, and wheel alignment. Hurry, offer ends July 31st. Take it to Telly. Details at tellytire.com.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This July is America's 250th birthday, so declare your independence from low testosterone at Low T Center. Start with a free T-test, stay on treatment for 90 days, and receive $250 back. It's the Low T Center 250 for 250 offer. FixMyLowT.com and book your free T-test. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Johnny Dare. Everyone shopping New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram and Paola have been saving an unbelievable amount of money on brand new trucks, Jeeps, and SUVs that have slight cosmetic damage from the spring hailstorm. New Century has a wide variety of these vehicles left that are priced to sell. Save thousands and still receive all the factory incentives. Go see my friends at New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram while these deals last. Remember, you'll always pay less in Paola.
See dealer for details.
What's up? It's Patrick Mahomes, and you're listening to The Home for Chiefs Football. 96.5, The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Rolling right along on a Monday as we celebrate the last week of July, which means that the boys and the Chiefs, they're all at training camp. As we know what this time of the year brings for that. A lot of Cody and Gold road trips up there in St. Joe as they get to be the honorable members of, the Kansas City Chiefs home here on 96.5 The Fan as they go up there and do their show. Live from St. Joe's, so snow cone conversations. Mm-hmm. Random players joining Cody and Gold.
99-degree heat.
What percentage of the players that they interview will not make the team?
0. Because they tend to get a lot of the rookies.
Yeah.
Like they'll get like...
That's true.
I bet they get like a Mansour Delane. They'll probably get like a Peter Woods.
R. Mason Thomas. You got to be on Emmett Johnson. Yeah.
They'll interview a couple of the darlings, right? They'll get the Caldwells, the Allens, and like one of those guys will end up on the outside.
Yeah.
I'll go with like maybe one.
Just
interview.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's a pretty good number. Yeah, one. Yeah. All right.
I'm waiting for the day they get Winchester.
Yeah, because there's times we went up there at training camp and you got some guy you never heard of before. You're like, I don't even know who he is.
It is cool though when you do those shows up there. I always love that because I might go up there with Mac once or twice on the weekends and. It's cool whenever the player comes and joins because they're always like pretty responsive to the crowd and they'll give them their gloves and stuff like that. And you'll see all these people come around like it's like the one time that no one's there to see you. Uh-huh. Like there's this guy over here that's fresh out of practice and you can tell like I always tend to ask him like, so what's it like up here in St. Joe for you? Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that more than you know.
Anybody who sits there and says they like what's going on at training camp as a player is just, they're lying. Nobody likes that stuff. I mean, just put yourself back in. And I don't know if you guys had it as back as far as I did, but we had 2-a-days all the time in high school, right? They stopped doing that after a while. Mm-hmm. My dad used to tell me stories about doing 3-a-days when he was in high school, right? Like back in the 50s and 60s and that kind of era. I guess late 60s it would have been. And doing 3 practices a day, right? Yeah. And then, of course, we did 2 practices a day, and they were like 9 to 11, and then like 1 to 3, right in the heat of the day, and all that.
We
kind
did
of crap.
9-minute abs, not 7-minute abs.
Yeah,
week.
And so I'm wondering, like these guys up here, like put yourself back in the shoes of when you played high school football. Nobody liked practicing. Nobody wanted to be out there, and now these guys got to do it. They got to go up and live in a dorm for 6 weeks. Man, no, I'll pass on that.
Yeah, that was when I first, that was when we kind of broke in as men. It was 8th grade.
Yeah.
We all played football in 8th grade. Not that I was any good, but I remember we did 2-a-days in the last week of summer and then the first week of school. And our football coach, Jim Johnson, great guy, was like, you will shower after practice in the morning. He's like, I will not get reports from teachers or other students that I have smelly-ass football players, so I don't care if you're insecure and need to wear a swim trunk, you will shower. And I remember, some of the kids were like, oh, what do we do? I'm like, dude, just get in there.
Just get in,
man. It's first 2 days, there was half the room was in swim trunks. After that, we were all just showering up. It was dude, because if you didn't shower, you didn't play.
Right.
Because it was part of the rules. It was just hey, man, I'm sorry, it's the middle of August and it's in Missouri and you know how hot it is. I'm not having stinky ass kids in class. So
Yeah, but it doesn't, when you go to practice before school, and it's hot outside already, it's early in the school year, late in the school year, you then shower and then you're not done sweating.
No, the shower doesn't take.
You're still sweating in first
you're just
period.
getting the
That was the worst
fumes
part
off.
of it. Yeah.
No, that's a great Seinfeld episode from back in the day where Costanza's shower doesn't take and they think he's guilty of something because he's sitting there sweating in a meeting. But, you're absolutely right about that. I'll go to the J today, right? Get a good workout in, take a shower, leave, and I'll still be sweating because that initial shower just doesn't take. And then you're all sweaty again. And so it's a mix of everything. But we all remember that first locker room shower, right? I mean, as these guys are up at training camp, they're probably not all standing around one pole with 17 heads coming off it where they're all standing there naked. But that's kind of how it was back in our day. And we all had that stage fright, right? I think every single one of us, every guy listening, unless you're well endowed, God love you, I think every guy in high school is I feel a little bit awkward about this, as you should. You're not used to showering in front of a bunch of guys or anything like that. You have that first shower, and you're right, Dusty, everybody's in bathing suits when that first goes down. And then, midway through the season, people are just walking the halls naked, and nobody cares anymore.
Frank,
right?
good to see you.
Yeah.
Slow day, huh?
And then you get to be in your 80s, and you see the old men walk, and they just don't care. So, it starts when you're in 8th grade, 9th grade, where you're I'm not showering, I don't want to see anybody. And then you get to a certain age where you just don't give a rip, and you just walk around like a jaybird, free as can be.
Yeah, then you become immature.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that, Corey's got a freckle. Somebody says this about yesterday. Dude, I cooked steaks for the entire family yesterday in that hell of a heat wave. I was not just sweating my beer out, I was sweating out my soul.
Yeah.
Whew, steaks too. And you gotta stay around that grill and pay attention.
You gotta stay on top of that thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like chicken. You can just go inside and come back out in 10 minutes. But pretty cool situation this weekend. Salvador Perez, now the all-time home run leader for the Kansas City Royals.
Swing and a ball well hit. Left field, way back and gone. He's done it. Salvador Perez, number 318 in his career. He's now the Royals franchise leader in home runs. One legend replaces another. Salvador Perez rounding the bases. And the Royals tying the game 2-2. See history made in Detroit. Salvi gets a big hug from Vinny Pasquantino. And the hugs continue as he makes his way back to the dugout. A no doubter to left ties the game for Salvi, his 15th on the year. 318 home runs. He's the all-time Royals franchise leader in long balls. Congratulations to the captain.
So there's two things I want to mention on that moment. Number one goes to Steve Stewart. If you are driving with your child in your car right now and you want to know how you do a job in play-by-play radio, that's it.
That was a great call.
That's everything that you should be told what a radio play-by-play moment should happen. There were enough pauses for you to kind of hear Royals fans or Tigers fans that were supportive. I know there's really no bad blood with the Tigers. I don't know
it
if
goes
there's...
back to Miggy when he won the Triple Crown here. We gave him a standing ovation.
There's respect thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's really never been, at least in my life, where there's been a lot of bad blood. Now, I know there's been the fight with Weaver and Sweeney. I understand that. But again, you go to the Miguel Cabrera thing and the respect. Salvador Perez does that with the respect. And Steve Stewart gives you everything you need to know. You can tell that wasn't forced. Mm-hmm. You can tell that wasn't scripted. He's giving you the moment by moment as Salvador Perez rounds third, hard pause, Vinny Pasquantino with the hug, and then kind of as he finishes it off with the end of the commentary, your all-time home run record in long balls, the captain. And number 2, this has not been your year for the Royals. But this last week was special for Kansas City. And to see Salvador Perez do that, to see maybe the non-negotiable second greatest Royal of all time surpass non-negotiable, the greatest Royal of all time, the video that George gave out after the game or after the moment, talking about Salvador Perez. And I guarantee you, if you talk to George Brett, whether it's after 1 or 17 Coors Lights, he'd tell you the same thing. If anybody was going to do it, he'd want it to be Salvador Perez.
It's the perfect person to do it. It really is. Every generation now that is alive right now, right? Every single generation that is on earth right now has had joy brought into their sports life because of Salvador Perez, right? Old guys my age, guys your guys' age, people my kids' age, people younger than that. Every single generation that is alive in Kansas City today has had joy brought into their sports life because of Salvador Perez. And there was a while there where you couldn't say that about George because there was such a gap, where George was still the greatest player ever, but most people hadn't seen him play because he retired in the early 90s. And so now we've got this guy that does transcend every generation. And I'm sure for a lot of people, it goes back to a call we took a couple of years ago, and a guy goes, I don't even know who George Brett is, and I'm in my mid-30s. We're like, whoa, how do you know that? But now when you hear that, you realize where George was and the last time he played, and now we've got Salvador Perez kind of taking the trophy and running with it when it comes to being the home run leader now in Kansas City. It's a special moment, and it's a special moment because everybody alive today in Kansas City has had their sports life touched by Salvador Perez, and I think that is really cool and really awesome. He is the George Brett of this era, right? And we're not taking anything away from the Hall of Famer because, as you said, undisputed, and he is. So I think he's one of the top 5 baseball players of all time, George Brett. But Salvador Perez is the undisputed number 2 Royal of all time, and somebody that we've all seen and we've all taken joy. We've seen the guy win a championship. We've seen him win a World Series MVP. We've seen him do incredible things. We've seen him be a lifelong member of this organization, and I think that's important too. I was talking to somebody over the weekend on a group text, and one of our buddies is like, I wish I cared. I wish I cared that Salvi did this. And somebody responded back in return and said, setting the home run mark for your franchise is still pretty special, regardless of what's going on during the season. And that's where I am. Yeah, this season has been a dog. Arguably the worst season on history for the Royals because of expectation and what they've done. That should not cloud what Salvador Perez has done and becoming that all-time home run leader. And to your point about Steve Stewart, what a marvelous call, man. I mean, he just told you what he was seeing. He didn't try to be a showman. He didn't try to scream and yell. And you're right, he didn't have anything prepared, which is great too. He just let it happen and talked about every moment as it was going on. I don't know that you can get a much better call than what Steve Stewart did. So bravo and hats off to him, man.
No, this radio group and television network is the best in the business. All of them. Ryan is fantastic. Jake is amazing. Great call by Stu. Obviously, the legend of Denny. It is, no matter who's on that night.
I kind of enjoy the poppiness of Bridget Howard, too. I've enjoyed her.
She's been good.
Yeah.
Yes.
She kind of, it's almost like having that sort of like different voice from time to time. And then I kind of have liked how they've like kind of implicated Rex and then Jeremy Guthrie, then Hosmer and all this sort of stuff. And it seems like everybody gets along with each other. Again, this is Steve Stewart's call on Salvador Perez hitting his 318th and franchise leading home run of all time.
Swing and a ball well hit. Left field, way back and gone. He's done it. Salvador Perez, number 318 in his career. He's now the Royals franchise leader in home runs. One legend replaces another. Salvador Perez rounding the bases. And the Royals tying the game 2-2. See history made in Detroit. Salvi gets a big hug from Vinny Pasquantino. And the hugs continue as he makes his way back to the dugout. A no-doubter to left ties the game for Salvi, his 15th on the year, 318 home runs. He's the all-time Royals franchise leader in long balls. Congratulations to the captain.
Perfect. I mean, and that's not an overreaction, but it is 6:30, so we can get into our overreactions. And I'm here to tell you, I don't know if this is necessarily an overreaction or a perfect reaction. nobody in the sport of football, maybe nobody in sports, has a better PR team than Mike Vrabel.
I'll do my best here with BB.
BB.
Okay, so welcome everybody. It's good to see you guys. Something that we did last year, obviously the first day of training camp, was the Patriots program that Dana Kraft implemented last year and was really successful. Did a lot of really good work, not only for these dogs, but for the families that adopted them. So I think we've almost got 60 dogs this year. And so if anybody's looking to add to their roster at home, we would love for you to be able to adopt these dogs tomorrow. I think some of them are already spoken for. Me and BB are making quick friends here. German Shepherd mix, so been working with her all year. She's going to try to protect me if anybody gets out of control. So we're going to let her roam around. We'll see how she does on this podium here. She's nervous.
Absolute genius. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm mocking Adopt, Don't Shop. I think that's what everybody should do. I love dogs. I want to do anything I can for sheltered dogs. I support them. They're the best things in this life. But, man, what a way to introduce yourself to the new season. Bring out BB, this cute little, what do you call that? Not a golden retriever, but a German Shepherd.
German Shepherd, yes.
I mean, then he lets her loose and then drops that little line of, like, in case anybody gets out of hand. All right, Mike, so you and Diana. Nope, that BB doesn't like that.
Yeah,
He'll piss right on your leg if you say anything about that. What a PR move.
What a PR move.
And I know he says we did it last year, and it's Bob Kraft's wife or whoever, daughter.
Who remembers that at all from
Not a
last year?
chance.
No.
Don't remember it.
No.
Probably should. But this year, with all these allegations going on and all this stuff that might have happened during the offseason and the hottest name in sports that doesn't play, Mike Vrabel comes out with BB because his PR team is the best in the game, and they let him go out there and adopt, don't shop, and don't ask me any questions about you-know-who.
Yeah.
We're ready for 2026.
I saw a tweet the other day. It said the dog's name is Diana Ruffsini.
Oh, my. Woof.
Yeah, brilliant move.
First question for me would have been, hey, Coach, you seem like you're very knowledgeable and passionate. How many dogs were adopted last year?
Yeah.
Does that dog seem to you or your wife? It doesn't like the couch.
Yeah, just fire dog questions that he doesn't have the answer to. Yeah, exactly right. I like the way you play that. My overreaction today is going to be to every single person who has discovered now that Patrick Mahomes is going to be just fine. We told you the day after this gentleman had surgery, or not surgery, but the injury, that everything was going to be fine. He was going to be at training camp, and he threw a football over the weekend, Dusty. And you would have thought that Patrick Mahomes did something that nobody else has ever done in the history of the NFL.
You'd have thought he split the atom.
I mean, I don't know what you would have thought he did, but now every single person is like, well, I'm picking the Chiefs. Kirk Herbstreit legitimately said yesterday, I'm taking the Chiefs over the field. Nobody does that.
Yeah, you always take the field.
You always take the field.
Well, unless it's like the NCAA women's college tournament.
That's right, you take Connecticut.
Yeah, I'll take UConn, you got the field. Well, if that's the only way, something's not right here.
Yeah.
Always take the field, always.
If the field included UConn, if it was someone else against, like the field includes the Rams in this situation.
Exactly, yeah.
Rams, Broncos, Bills, Patriots, everybody.
Bengals. He didn't even mention an NFC team. Seattle, 31 NFL teams or the Chiefs. And Kirk Herbstreit says, I'm taking the Chiefs over the field. A week ago, ladies and gentlemen, everybody was doubting the Chiefs. I don't know if Mahomes is going to be back. I don't know this. I don't know that. The man throws a pass to air, and everybody's like, and I hate to be this guy. I told you so. I told you this was what was going to happen. We told you the day after. He was going to be just fine.
I've never seen a quarterback move with a knee brace on like that in my life.
I was talking to our friend Len Jennings at Channel 9. I ran into him at McLean's yesterday down in Waldo. We're getting a cookie for our friend Jen.
Great croissants.
Fantastic place, right? And we're walking in. He goes, hey, what's going on, man? We started, small talk, all that kind of stuff. His wife, my wife were talking about whatever. And we're talking, and I'm like, he goes, yeah, I just got back from training camp. I go, what are you doing? He goes, just rolling that Mahomes bean footage, Make sure everybody sees it. Roll the beautiful bean footage. And there it is. And Mahomes is throwing a football, and everybody's excited. I'm not surprised at all. We knew this was going to be the case.
There was a video of him rolling left that went on Twitter maybe Saturday and had hundreds of quotes from like Bills fans, just MFing him and like just I can't believe this is the case and doing. I mean, just again, against air.
You know who was doing a lot of backtracking yesterday too? Dr. Chow. Because people were pulling up his tweet from the day Mahomes got hurt and said there's no way he's going to play by the first game of the season. And he's backtracking. He goes, well, just because he's throwing in practice doesn't mean he's ready to go for. Okay. You got on that one. You got exposed as a fraud because that's what internet doctors are.
And we knew that he would because he said in his original post when he talked about him playing week 1, he goes, he won't be 100% come week 1.
Yeah.
Never said, do I think he's going to start or not start or play or not play. So then when he goes out there and he looks 80%, he'll be like, well, like I said, he wasn't going to be 100%. Thanks.
But how do you know if he's 100% or not? Unless you're looking at the guy and analyzing the guy and, examining him, you don't know what percentage he's at right now. But whatever he did over the weekend, man, had everybody changing their tune. And now all of a sudden, I hate to say, like there's a new sheriff in town, but sure seems that way. Everybody's like, all right, Mahomes is back.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I am reading into a little bit of the camp fodder in my overreaction Monday. I think Mansour Delaney is going to immediately be a top 3, maybe the best cornerback in the league. I think this guy's going to be a stud immediately. Okay, maybe not number 1 immediately, but right away he's going to be among the absolute best. And it's just from hearing his mindset out of the reports. Nate Taylor reported on Saturday that Delaney he looked good in a couple of reps, but he said, I'm motivated to get better. I'm excited when I have a bad rep because it gives me a chance to get better. And then he also said, I'm the guy they picked first.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the underdog, but I was picked 6. There are expectations here. I've got to get this starting job first, then I've got to take off. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. I love the mindset. Mansour Delaney's going to be a stud.
I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, that's huge. Not necessarily the same shoes to fill as McDuffie, as he'll play a different style of corner, but yeah, man, if you have a Pat Surtain out there, if you have him out there on your team and on your defense, I mean, that, again, we always talk about how the D-line can give the cornerback some help. That gives the D-line a little extra time as well to know that they've got some protective shields out there in the secondary with Noah Williams and him as well. Like, if Delaney is that guy, then, there's a statue of each somewhere at that stadium as well. This is interesting. Somebody says 2 different numbers say this, that people were saying that Mahomes faked his injury as if you can fake a surgery.
Saw that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are we doing here? You
cut my knee up, but I want to really sell it.
Anybody who's saying Mahomes faked an injury and is effed in the head, like in a bad way, and you should seek help. Faking an injury,
faked a surgery.
They're obviously not faking an injury, but the fact that somebody would think that goes to show you how bat bleep crazy Patrick Mahomes has driven the rest of the NFL, where people are now going. And you're right, multiple texts have said that to us this morning.
That's right.
Multiple texts have said that people are saying that when you say people are saying it, you're talking about like message board dopes from Denver, right? Or Buffalo. That's what it has to be. Nobody that's normal is saying that, are they?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now I just need Mahomes to bring a dog to his press conference.
Oh, man.
Little knee brace on its back.
That would be funny. Yeah. Actually, if Mahomes is doing it right, he brings the bald eagles to the press conference.
Just 2 arms.
Yeah.
These are my friends.
Could
you imagine? Let him soar around the room like the dog got to walk around the room?
Just on his shoulder.
Could you imagine if Mahomes showed up with the bald eagles? Like, he needs to get that guy from the zoo or someplace like that with the big glove, and get his ass out there, bring those eagles to training camp, and really just continue to pour salt in all of this and just continue to F with the rest of the NFL. Mahomes is healthy, and now they got bald eagles. What else can they do?
This press conference brought to you by Jungle Law.
Yeah.
Ring chasing is an interesting conversation, and a lot of people will consider this man to have that, I believe, in his legacy as we talk about LeBron James next. So text line, get ready to get pissed off. Here on 96.5, The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20
Professor Vernier sitting up here, bloviating.
on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you something. My friends over at Window World are perfect for this time of the year. In fact, Window World's perfect for any time of the year because you always want to have great windows in your home. And when we got our home a couple of years ago, well, I say a couple of years ago, 12 years ago now, every window needed to be replaced. And we knew we were going to make one call. It was to 1-800-GET-WINDOWS, and that was for Window World because we knew that if we're going to put in replacement windows, we want the best on the market today. And Window World provided us just that, the best replacement windows out there. And they have a double strength glass that gives it a strength that is not commonly used in replacement windows. So not only are you getting great customer service, but you're also getting a product that's better than everything else out there on the market today. And we put over 30 Window World windows in our home. And one thing that I love most about Window World is the warranty. Anytime something happens, glass breakage, something goes wrong, Window World comes out and they replace it, no questions asked. And Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. So with Window World windows, you know they're the official windows of the Chiefs, and now they're the official windows of the Fescoe house as well. So call them today and get that free in-home estimate. 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. That's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS or at windowskansascity.com. It's Window World.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's the Lawman, 3-time DUI award-winning attorney in Kansas City. You wanted results? Here you go. First-degree murder charge, dismissed. Felony DUI, dismissed. Felony to misdemeanor, multiple. Felony jury trial, not guilty. Call the Lawman, 816-816-9111. Take it away.
The Lawman gets results of the law. Call the Lawman. Let the fight begin.
Voted by Pitch and Casey Magazine. The choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisement.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side 70 eastbound bogs down about Jackson Avenue. Stays very heavy overpass Van Brunt with construction down to one lane briefly into there. And other than that, things moving pretty well all around the metro. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
We'll get into LeBron James in just a second, but Nathan, how about this local hero? You love people doing nice things for people, right? How about this headline? Man kicked out of IMAX Theater after bringing a fully functioning crock pot of chili and selling bowls in the back row. Story says this guy brought in the 5-quart pot under his coat, plugged into a cleaning outlet, and set up a serving station with bowls and napkins and on the folded seats. He sold 19 bowls before opening credits ended, offering cheese for an extra $1. A line formed quickly and people passed bowls down the aisle. Police say the issue wasn't the smell, but the constant movement. He was banned from the theater and the movie was paused for 7 minutes. He ran out of chili fast and got kicked out even faster.
This guy's a hero,
Like,
right?
what's the most bizarre thing you've eaten in a movie theater? And be nice, text line.
I don't really eat a lot in there. I've always popcorn or candy. That's it for me. I've never had anything much else.
I'll take in like sub sandwiches in there, burgers and stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to take good sense in there.
You ever microwave fish and bring it in?
Weekly, yes, often.
Who's eating the trout?
That's me.
Guy down there. I didn't want to see the movie. If that's how you never wanted to see a movie, do that.
Go in and microwave some salmon.
Oh.
Could you imagine somebody bringing in salmon and just sitting there eating theater? I mean, I never thought somebody would bring a crock pot of chili and sell
Under
it.
their jacket. Found the outlet and set up his own like lemonade stand.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Hey, psst.
You said he sold out, right? So they let him sell out of chili.
19 bowls of chili.
How much a piece?
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, $5 a bowl plus $1 for cheese. I mean, you made some pretty good money in there.
You saved a lot of money buying that over movie snack food.
Yeah, of course you did.
So I kind of want to piggyback off what I heard Carrington talk about when it came to LeBron James. And this is his take, not mine. He said, if we always judge athletes by how many rings they have, then what's the issue with what LeBron is doing? Now, I can see both sides of the argument. I know that there's a lot of you in town that don't like hearing about LeBron James. Deal with it for about 5 more minutes. We'll get right into Mahomes throwing footballs to air, and then you'll be there. So edge yourself here. The thing about LeBron James, I think, is he's one of those athletes that's kind of, the millennial style, right? Like he came into this league where social media started to build. And I've always told people that are younger than me when I go back to UCM and maybe talk to students that are going through the same path that we all went through as a group of DMP students. Like we were the first. And it was just like, sign up for, you're the first to do this. And I think this is where this show is kind of fun with the generational gaps between all of us, even with Nathan here, not Mac. Is that when I started college, like Blackboard was something that we just were told about. And it was like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And it was frustrating and also innovating because our teachers also were new to this. And for those of you that don't know what Blackboard is, I mean, I'm sure that
does that even exist anymore?
I don't know if it does, but it was basically, it was the course online and you could do assignments and turn them in that way. So they were starting to go away from the paper. Right. I watched Scantrons be introduced and die out in a matter of like 7 years of my life.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And
I watched Scantrons come in.
Right. Yeah. So
Blackboard died out when I was in college. They have Canvas now.
Canvas is what people are using now. Yeah. Everything's on Canvas.
And so LeBron comes into the league, right? I remember being in 8th grade and watching this kid play for a high school team and be like, that's not a 17-year-old. It was, right? We remember the Hummer that was in his mom's driveway, and then the next day he signs the $180 million deal with Nike, and then goes to Cleveland. And then after he goes to Cleveland, he does the decision, then he goes to, the Lakers, and then he goes back to Cleveland, and then he goes, or whatever it is, he goes, whatever it was. Miami, then back to Cleveland, then to the Lakers, and now he's going to Philadelphia, where everyone immediately took the headline and said, oh, he's just going to chase another ring. What's the issue? Is it the issue that he's ring chasing, or is the sole issue that it's just LeBron
It's
James?
LeBron James. Everybody, has their opinion on LeBron James. There's not many guys out there in sports that are truly polarizing where you can look at somebody and say, I either hate him or I love him, right? And I'm talking about the entire package of that person. LeBron James is one of those players. And I mean, I don't really know who else really is one of those lightning rod players where people have a definitive opinion one way or another on that guy. And I think a lot of it for LeBron, and I hate to be this guy, but a lot of it has to do with the stuff he does off the field, right? We talk about Michael Jordan all the time. You never knew what side he was on because he didn't say anything. People know where LeBron James stands now on social issues, and there are people who don't like what LeBron stands for. There are people who love what LeBron stands for. And so I think that gets in the way more than anything, and that tends to cloud the judgment of the actual player. If we didn't know what LeBron did off the field or off the court, right, and he was just a basketball player, how could you not love what LeBron James has brought to the NBA? He's been phenomenal.
And I don't know if there ever becomes a time, because I don't have these conversations with these great athletes, where yeah, there's always going to be a debate or a conversation from talking heads to say who the best is in what sport. And maybe there's also a conversation to be had to when like a guy finds out eventually like, hey, like I'm never going to be that guy. That guy is him for a reason. I just want to be my own self, because I understand also that people will consider ring chasing that happens later in their career. Like maybe Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, goes to the best possible option, has the best offense, has a really good defense. Hey, you can win here. That was what Tom Brady wanted to do. He wanted to go to a team that was loaded, where all they really needed was pretty good quarterback play, and they could probably have a chance.
Right.
But Tom Brady did it when he was like 44. Like he waited all the way to his industry, played his whole life with New England. And then obviously there were some sour grapes that caused maybe a bad breakup, and then he goes to Tampa Bay and does his thing there. You look at Peyton Manning, pretty much was ran out of town, not in a rude way, but like they drafted Andrew Luck. They knew the age was coming. Hey, you probably got 4 years left. It's just not here.
Not here.
So he goes to Denver, 2 Super Bowls, wins 1.
Right.
Not necessarily ring chasing, but career chasing, like trying to keep going.
Right.
Just so happens they win rings. I think the thing with LeBron that a lot of people say is like they hate the conversation when people come up and say, is it Jordan or is it LeBron? It's like, guys, please. Jordan went to 6 title games, won all 6 of them, won 2 3-peats, never played anywhere in his career other than the Bulls until he moved on to Washington to continue his career chase, right? Not ring chase.
Well, but he owned that team at the time, too. So it was like because that's more of a career chase than a ring chase that Washington was. He's playing for the team that he owned at that time. He doesn't still own them, does he?
Couldn't tell you. I know he's into the NASCAR scene now. But I think the thing with LeBron, though, that really irks people is that he's now gone to like big teams multiple times, like Miami with Wade and Bosch, and create that sort of, aura down there. Then he goes to Cleveland, goes back home. They build the team up. That was probably, I think, where people really were okay with LeBron from a majority standpoint. Then goes to the Lakers, wins 1 in a bubble, right? So there's a little bit of a
you're
slash.
Doing the thing, though. You're doing the thing. That's what. And I didn't watch Michael Jordan play live. I saw the very tail end of his career when he was on the Wizards. I didn't see peak Michael Jordan. And before I go on this little rant, I would take Michael Jordan over any player in NBA history if I was starting a team or if I had to play one game.
Would too,
I think he is the GOAT. But if you tell Jordan fans that he is not or there's a debate or that he's not, it is immediate, just like vitriol.
Yeah.
And they want to not have a contextual conversation. Hey, it's just rings. It's 6-4, and one of those was in the bubble. So, and then it's like, okay, now you're mad at LeBron for going to Philly. How does that make sense? Because if rings is the only thing that matters, I thought. But if it's not, we could bring up the highest point scorer of all time. And the retort to that is, well, LeBron played 8 more years. Right. Okay, he has a higher field goal percentage and he played longer. That's pretty impressive. Well, then defense. Well, LeBron has more rebounds, more blocks per game than Jordan does. Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year once. LeBron's finished second a couple times. It's negligible. I would take Jordan because of the playoff efficiency. He went to the finals 6 times. He won 6 finals.
Yeah.
That is, LeBron is always in the playoffs. He's had 22 cracks at this thing. He's been through 4 times. That to me is a difference in their greatness. But to act like he is not amongst the conversation or he is lesser for ring chasing, it bothers me.
Yeah, the ring chasing conversation and all of this is one of the dumbest things that I've ever heard, because let's put ourselves where we are right now in Kansas City. How many times have you as a Chiefs fan said so-and-so should come here and get a ring and play here and get a ring? We have uttered that all the time about whether it's DeAndre Hopkins or whoever else they sign. Terrell Suggs, guys like that. Come here and just get a ring, man. You're going to get a ring. Come here and get a ring. So we say that about the Chiefs all the time. The second thing about the ring chasing that drives me nuts, why are we mad that a gentleman wants to go and play where he's going to have success? Don't you want to go into an office every day or work every day or a place every day where you feel like you're set up for success, where you can win? If you're on a bad NBA team or a baseball team or a football team and you have to go in there every single day and your team sucks, how do you think your morale's going to be? How do you think your attitude's going to be when you go in there every day? You want to go where you have a chance to win. And the third thing is every single athlete, once they get paid and don't have a ring, they all chase rings. I have heard that from numerous athletes over the years. They want two things, the bag and the ring. Once they get one, they go after the other. It doesn't matter what order they come in, but they want the bag and they want the ring. Whenever they get first, they go on the hunt and try to get the other. And so that's commonplace. I can't see why people are mad that LeBron would want to go play for a winner. I want to go have fun at work every single day too. That's why we're on the FM.
I think that's why, I think with LeBron, just to kind of go back on yours, is because it's been like not one, not two, not three. It's like the fourth time it's happened.
I know, but he did that decision, guys, in 2010. Okay, that's 16 years ago now.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, he's gone into a place of, like, high success where he should win multiple times. Yeah. Like, it's not, and again, to go back to the Brady Manning thing, it's not like they were doing it. They did it one time. It was a career. They're not done. Right. But they're also putting themselves in the best possible situation among others.
I mean, if we're going to say, though, that LeBron is ring chasing, I mean, honestly, he's kind of failed at that. You know, he has one where he's been, obviously. In Miami, he's got him. And then in Cleveland, he got the ring. And then L.A., he got the bubble. But that L.A. experiment, I mean, that thing is done. I mean, that was a bad experiment, right? The league didn't really benefit over LeBron being out there.
Won a title.
And he won the bubble title. But that was
Went on for way too long,
It did. Yeah. And that was the other thing. It felt like this 6 years ago when you won that bubble title, man. Like, it just continued on and on and on and on.
Well, hey, Patrick Mahomes has been cleared to practice. We'll get into Patrick Mahomes and what they had to say about him, including Chase Daniel, on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
This is Fescoe and Dusty.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending do want to help you figure out what to do when it comes to your mortgage. They've been helping us out now for the better part of a decade, and we're all the same, man. Let's be honest. A lot of us are feeling squeezed right now. Those high-interest credit cards, higher grocery and gas prices, and just trying to keep some breathing room in the budget, man, it adds up fast, and Golden Oak Lending can help. In fact, Golden Oak Lending saves the average customer over $1,100 a month, and this July, Golden Oak Lending is offering a complimentary appraisal credit up to $600 with a qualifying loan or refinance. So start with a free mortgage checkup from a local Golden Oak loan officer. They'll review your current mortgage, then check out your home equity and see whether a refinance, cash out option, or debt consolidation strategy may make sense for you. There's no pressure, just real answers from a local team that's respected and helping homeowners for years. So if credit card debt is weighing you down or your monthly payments feel too tight, see what options may be available. Call or visit GoldenOakLending.com today. That's GoldenOakLending.com. MLS 114937.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope. That's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Hey, this is Lauren. And a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's going to add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the car crash kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
East side 70 eastbound, getting heavy around 27th. Stays very slow over past Van Brunt. Construction has you down to 1 lane. North KC 169 highway southbound, checking in slow from 9 highway to the airport exit. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got him covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts. Moving right along on a Monday. Nathan, Bob, Dusty with you. Gonna be a hot one out there today.
Like 7 inches from the midday sun, dude.
Don't enjoy it, but much rather have this than 10 degrees and a chance of flurries and sleet and snow.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Jalen Hurts' diet?
No. Tell me about it.
This is insane.
Tell me more.
Jalen Hurts says he drinks a ton of water.
Okay.
1 to 2 protein shakes.
Okay.
Lots of fruit.
Yeah.
His breakfast is turkey, eggs, turkey bacon, potatoes, or toast.
Okay.
His lunch, he has a Caesar salad or another type of salad. Look out.
Passing on the lettuce still, man.
You got to watch out for those romaine runs.
Yeah.
His dinner is either fish, chicken, or steak with a lot of vegetables. His snack is sunflower seeds, and his reward, you'll like this, butter pecan bluebell ice cream.
Oh, that sounds good. That's a good reward.
He says, quote, you have to train yourself to eat the right things if you want the results.
That's exactly right. As Dick Vermeil told me one time, you can't outrun your fork. I said, thank you.
Yeah. Great advice, Dick.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, people work out and they exercise, they do all this stuff, and then they sit down and they eat the wrong food, you know?
So we talked about Vrabel and, all that stuff with his camp day. Patrick Mahomes, obviously we told you yesterday, or on Friday, I guess you could say, we talked about how Mahomes had been, what will be the story that comes from camp? Oh, he's, he finally has, the ability to clear for practice. What's his throws going to look like? All that sort of stuff. And we saw it this week. And I guess you could say as camp is fully underway, as Cody and Gold will be out there and broadcasting live from St. Joe, we knew this was going to happen. We knew we were going to get evaluation of Patrick Mahomes. He's throwing the football. Here we are once again. We'd never seen Mahomes in this sort of state, but we've been telling you since the day of the injury he was going to be ready to go. And the first report that comes out of camp is Andy Reid talking to the media saying Patrick Mahomes has been clear for all activities.
That's right.
And now we get to diagnose the knee stuff that we'll see. So.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to diagnose him going against air and seeing it and seeing everybody finally realize what we've been saying since the day he injured his leg. He will be fine for the start of the season in September. And for whatever reason, people didn't want to believe it. I think people fabricate stories to keep a narrative going, and I think that's kind of what was, going on by a lot of these NFL insiders fabricating the story about Patrick Mahomes, especially the fake doctors that are on the internet, like Dr. Chow. That guy fired by an NFL team is out here telling everybody how it's going to go down, and he was completely wrong. I don't tend to play a doctor on the radio, but I was the only one that told you the day after his surgery he would be fine and be playing on opening day. day. And nobody wanted to believe that because of what we've all learned in the past. You can't recover from a knee injury this quick. Well, why not? We've never seen Patrick Mahomes have a knee injury before, and we've never seen a lot of things happen in the NFL that has happened since Patrick Mahomes has joined this league about a decade ago. How many times have we said we've never seen anything like that before when Patrick does something? And so now that he has a severe knee injury, you knew, based on the way that he's rehabbed other things over the years, that he was going to kick ass and take names and destroy the rehab, which is exactly what he did. I mean, the guy had his knee facing to the left and 3 weeks later was back out on the field. The guy did not have an ankle and went on and won a Super Bowl. So for anybody to sit here and say that he wasn't going to be ready for the start of the season because he had an ACL injury and because all past ACL injuries have taken longer, well, you're stupid and you don't understand the individual. And again, this is another reason why I hate analytics so much. Well, it's black and white. It takes a year. No, it doesn't. The patient matters, and Patrick Mahomes is a better patient than anybody I've ever seen.
This was former quarterback Chase Daniel talking about what he saw in, well, I guess 1 day of practice.
Absolutely still babying the left knee. He looks trimmer. He looks a little bit more explosive, but he's absolutely still babying the left knee. And so a lot of people will say, hey, he looks full go. I mean, week 1, in my opinion, still in question. Wouldn't be surprised he did this, in December. And so this is a 7-step drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're faking to the right. A lot of times when you're going that way, you'll just open up that way. I don't know. I've never really seen them spin out to their handoff. So it's a spin out fake. I don't know if that is because of his left foot, because he wants it. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. It's something to really look at. I'll go back and look at other videos and we'll see. But pretty good little throw right there. A lot of times, look at his left leg right there. It's pointed right at his target. His knee looks a little bit left, but he can't really bend it. So when your plant leg gets down, it's tough.
So that their audio is Chase Daniel breaking down what he saw so far from Mahomes, which I feel like there's two different sides of that. One, yes, there's a lot of analysis being poured in on the first, day of camp where they're practicing with everybody, but you're probably gonna see that until, you get closer to week 1, right? He's, still coming off rehab of an ACL. I understand, you're saying as Patrick Mahomes, the patient is different. Still, obviously, what you want to see is, okay, what's it going to look like in the line of fire? How much longer is it going to be, on this sort of like, hey, I'm kind of watching. That's always been one of my biggest, takes so far in this offseason is how good Josh Simmons will be how quickly the process of Patrick Mahomes will be. If Mahomes knows he doesn't have to worry about his blind side, let alone worry about the blocking of the front guys, that's going to make his awareness to his injury a little less ish, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, you're getting out there for the first time since you were, helped off the field and had a surgery to replace your ACL and your LCL. But that is something we're going to have to make sure we monitor and watch, which Daniel is just telling us out of the chute right now. Yes, he's spinning to the left. That's weird. Like, maybe that's a little much, but you haven't seen enough to know. Now you have to go back and check it out. So, again, yes, you're going to see a little bit of that. Will he be 100% for week 1? I don't know. But I know he's going to be better than probably a lot of people expect him to be. And there's a really big explanation into why they probably went out and spent money on Ken Walker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even Mahomes said in his press conference, he's like, I ran entirely way too much last year.
Yeah.
And eventually that ran him out and ran him down. And now you have a certified running back in there, top 12 running back in the NFL. And Patrick Mahomes is going to have to, that's the unfortunate part about the injuries, is like you're eventually going to have to just trust that you're going to be fine, that the knee is repaired, that the knee is good. That's in anything in life, whether you get in a wreck on a bike. You got to pick yourself right back up. You can't worry about the fall. Will you worry about it at the beginning? Probably, but eventually that will go away, and a help with that will be the protection that he has up front, especially if his left tackle is what we think he can be.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. The mental side is for anybody, regardless of who that patient is, right? And as you've talked about, you had an ACL injury. I hurt myself lifting weights. We've all been in those situations where you have an injury, and it does. The mental side is so much harder to overcome than the physical side of things, because you have to know that you can trust that leg. And that will take a little bit of time. Yeah, he's not going to be going out there and doing everything that he did immediately, but he's damn close to it. And if Chase Daniel is analyzing that and sees that, that's an educated eye, right? Like, and that's going to be a guy who's really looking for something. We've all watched Mahomes throw over the last 2 days. Looks awesome, looks fine, looks great. But yeah, that mental side is going to be a little bit different, and everybody's been through that. That's a great analogy with the bike. You know, you fall off your bike the first time, you're a little skittish to get back up there. You're a little afraid to get back up there, but eventually you do, and then you get going, and you're fine. And that's where Patrick Mahomes will be by the time the first game rolls around. He's going to have about 6 weeks to test that knee, to gain confidence in that knee, and to gain confidence in himself that knee's going to be okay.
The other thing, too, as well with it is that, yes, to the text that we saw earlier, yeah, he's going to have to get hit. Like, he's going to have to get out there in live action and know what it's like, and then be like, all right, this is fine. We're good. We got this. We can build on that, and we can gain more confidence with that. But again, first time in his career, he's had surgery like this, so of course it's going to be a little dainty at first. Coming up on the other side, we go back to what Bob was saying about the field and the Chiefs, plus Nate takes over with one word here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, the summer gets super hot, so now you need to get a Super Light. That's right. The team that brought you Surfside is back with something new. Meet Super Light, the new vodka plus aid canned cocktail. Super Light comes in 4 classic sports drinks flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. And ooh, that blue chill is money, baby. With just 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for any occasion. From the golf course to the bar, at night, at the concert, a day at the ballpark, Super Light is here for the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
DQ presents Being a Miracle Maker. Making a difference in your community has never been easier because July 30th is Miracle Treat Day at DQ. You buy a blizzard tree at participating locations, and DQ will donate $1 or more to Children's Miracle Network to benefit your local children's hospital. So on July 30th, buy a blizzard tree and be a miracle maker, a blizzard-eating hero, doing their part on Miracle Treat Day. July 30th, DQ. Happy tastes good.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather. new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends, Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. This July is America's 250th birthday, and Low T Center is celebrating 250 years of freedom with our 250 for 250 deal. All month long, men who start testosterone therapy and stay with it for 90 days earn $250 back. Our founding fathers recognized that to change our circumstances, we must be free. And 250 years later, you still have that freedom. So if you're over 40 and you've been dealing with low energy, low sex drive, you know what it's like not feeling like yourself. You don't have to stay that way. Low T Center is raising the T of America Patriots from C to shining C. Come celebrate 250 years of America with Low T Center's 250 for 250 deal. Because bringing back that energy and vitality of your youth is worth celebrating. Visit fixmylowt.com to book your free tea test today. That's fixmylowt.com. Don't miss out on this offer. It ends July 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
Pretty big news out of North Carolina this morning there, Dusty. I mean, GM of the program, Michael Lombardi, has been put on leave, effective immediately. Nathan, that can't be good. You're a lawyer.
Does not sound good. Nope.
That's Bill's guy.
That is Bill's guy, yes. I mean, that guy knows everything. He's been with Bill since like day one up there in New England, too. So this is going to be interesting to find out what this guy did. Maybe he told Jordan she couldn't be around the program anymore.
Somebody keeps texting in. The Mahomes story reminds me of Luke Combs' song Back in the Saddle again. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He is back in the saddle. Should be a fun season. Last 7 Super Bowl champions. This comes from Sam Block. Mahomes, NFC, NFC, Mahomes, NFC, NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Stafford's got one of those. Brady's got one of those. Sam Darnold's got one of those.
And Jalen Hurts has got another one of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of those, I would assume, against Patrick Mahomes. Pretty impressive when you look at those numbers. It's either Mahomes or somebody in the NFC, which if you are someone like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, you're looking at that going, what in the hell do I have to do at this point? Because last year we all talked about how the writing was on the wall. The script has been written. It's Josh Allen's year. Mahomes not in the playoffs. The Ravens aren't as good. Here's your guy. Here's your team. You're going to get to play against Drake May, Bo Nix, fill in the blank quarterback that's not named Patrick Mahomes. This is your year. Now the NFC is going to take reins over that. And we've seen that with Philadelphia beating the bricks off of Kansas City when we went to the one in New Orleans. Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl. The year that he loses to Burrow in overtime in the AFC Championship game, Matthew Stafford and the Rams win it. They get there against Tom Brady, blown out by the Bucs. And then obviously last year, Josh Allen can't get the job done. Drake May wins the AFC Championship game against Denver in a snowstorm against a backup quarterback. It was all there, right there. And yet again, when Mahomes doesn't come out of the AFC, or if he does, it's an NFC team that's going to win it. There's not been an AFC team, not named the Chiefs, that can get it done. And last year it was Drake May's chance in New England to basically set up his career for the rest of time, which it might still be that way. It was Josh Allen's year to kind of knock off that one little list, because I'll give you this honesty. If Josh Allen did it last year, 70% of people would say, finally he has the ring. There'd be 30% of people going, well, he did it without beating Mahomes.
That's right.
You're never going to get away from that either. But again,
and it's only one.
No AFC quarterback, at least in the last 7 seasons, it's not been Patrick Mahomes, can get there. Now, granted, 3 of those titles I had mentioned, Mahomes was still there.
Right.
But again, he wasn't last year. And now he's coming back with the knee injury, obviously cleared to do all activities. We'll see what he looks like in week 1 against the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. But if you still think Mahomes is vulnerable and you think that they're not quite the team they're going to be in 27, then you've got maybe this year to really take advantage of not 100% Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely. And you have to go out there and try to take advantage of that. And you didn't last year. And it wasn't like even in the playoffs, all of a sudden Mahomes didn't show up. You knew probably before Thanksgiving the Chiefs weren't going to be in the postseason, right? You kind of started to have inklings after that Jacksonville game in week 6, and then it just kind of dissipated from there, right? And especially after Thanksgiving, you knew that Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs were not going to be in the postseason. And teams still failed in the AFC to win the Super Bowl. The last AFC quarterback to win the Super Bowl, not named Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. The year before the Chiefs ended up, kind of taking over for what happened out there. And so Tom Brady's the last AFC quarterback, not named Patrick Mahomes, to win this thing. If I was going to give each of you guys $1,000 and you had to bet it on one AFC quarterback to win the Super Bowl this year, not named Patrick Mahomes, who are you taking with that $1,000 bet? Because all the AFC quarterbacks, in my opinion, have a major question mark kind of surrounding them. Can Joe Burrow stay healthy? Lamar's got a new head coach and a new situation down there. Josh Allen's got a new head coach and a new situation out there right now. Justin Herbert can't win in the postseason. New offensive coordinator, learning a new language out there. And so all of these quarterbacks that everybody looks at as like the next, guy to take over the mantle from Mahomes, they all have major issues out there. So if I'm going to give you $1,000, which guy are you taking to win the Super Bowl?
Money-wise, you just have to go on the most talent. And I think you'd have to
go
say
Allen?
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Now, he does have New England in that division, but also he's got Buffalo. He's got Miami in that division as well. You'd think there's 2 automatic wins.
Right.
Jets are in that division. Yes, they had a good draft, but I think they're building for the future. They'll have some surprise wins this year, but couldn't imagine they're going to get those against Buffalo. There's 4 wins, right? There's some other teams they'll play. Because if I would be a hypocrite if I said, how come every year when we look at the rosters and we see Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and we don't think automatically that's a team that should be in conversation to go win the whole thing because of what they have at quarterback for one and what they have at head coach.
Right.
I understand that the head coach has been removed in Buffalo as Sean McDermott is no longer there. But again, Josh Allen is still going to touch the football every single snap of the game. So if I had $1,000 and I had to make my smartest bet and I had to pick an AFC team, I would take Buffalo. Division, talent, and quarterback. And it's eventually going to happen. So, that's where I would go. I could hear and listen to people say Cincinnati because of the same conversation. He still has his head coach. He still has his 1 and 2 options on the outside that are still in their prime. They have a pretty damn good running back in Chase Brown. And Joe Burrow, if he can stay healthy, which is a big question.
That's the question.
I know Allen's going to stay healthy more than I think Burrow will stay healthy. So, money-wise, in a long roundabout way, Tony, I would say that I would probably I would probably take...
take my keys!
I would probably take Josh Allen. I would take Josh Allen.
Is that the one? Is that
and
where
that's
you
not
going?
fanboying. That's just being smart.
But it's like I was talking through these all to myself yesterday because why not? It's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every single one of these quarterbacks in the AFC has this major question surrounding them right now. Whether it's a new coach, whether it's an injury situation, whether it's a coach having relations with a reporter, whatever it is, man. Every other quarterback, and I know Mahomes has got the alleged knee injury that, people are still going to talk about and try to tell you he's not ready to go. But every one of these other players, other quarterbacks in this league has a major issue surrounding them. And so I don't disagree with you by Josh Allen, but I don't think we're picking Josh Allen because it's obvious we feel great about it. I think we're picking Josh Allen because we really don't think there's much else out there that you would wager on. What about you, Nathan? Who would you go with?
I think Dusty's point about it being probably the safest, smartest bet is absolutely correct, but I would pick Joe Burrow. And the reason is it is contingent upon health. And that sounds weird, but the rest of these guys that I might know will be in the dance, I also know that the moment's too bright for him. It's too big for them. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have serious question marks about winning the big game. I would pick against them for that sole reason. I mean, there's no reason Josh Allen loses that game in Denver last year. There's absolutely zero reason for him to lose that football game. And then you go down the list, these are guys that I don't even think can win a playoff game. The Trevor Lawrences, the Justin Herberts, the guys that continuously don't get it done in big moments. Drake May, the moment looked too big for him last year. C.J. Stroud, the moment looked too big for him, way too big for him last year.
He's got a full complement coming back this year, though. C.J. Stroud is very intriguing.
Now, I'm not out on C.J. Stroud as a player, but I still think with Joe Burrow, it's just like, hey, just make it to the end of the season healthy. And I know that you can be a baller come January.
Yeah.
So I might side with Cincinnati.
Have you guys watched The Quarterback yet, the new one that's out?
No.
Okay, I've watched the first 3 episodes of this. Have you watched it at all, Nathan?
All I've seen is Joe Flacco's kid bench him in fantasy football.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah, I think
I'm going to crash out if Dad goes off.
Yeah, I think his wife benched him as well. I am Joe Flacco in that, by the way. I'm watching the first. I'm like, this is me, 100%. I am 100% Joe Flacco. But I left off after episode 3, and he just got traded to Cincinnati, and you see Joe Burrow again walking off with turf toe. Like this guy has had so many injuries in his career. Like every single year has been derailed because of some sort of injury or just not playing great in the month of September, which is another thing you have to factor in with Cincinnati. Until they show us that they can play in the month of September, I can't bank on Cincinnati being good in the month of September either. So all these guys out there just have so many questions. But the Joe Burrow stuff, that guy's just an injury-prone quarterback. And I'm sure at some point he's going to find himself injured again this year because guys that are injured a lot always get injured, if that makes sense, right? That's as Yogi Berra as it gets. But guys like Joe Burrow, who are constantly hurt, always find a way to get injured. And so I can't count on him being healthy for the entire season.
You mentioned $1,000 bet on which quarterback in the AFC you would put money on to win one. If
not named Mahomes. Yeah.
Which $1,000 bet would you place on today that you could see happening more trust-wise from your eyes? Burrow stays healthy, Allen gets to a Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
Because that's the debate on the text line. Is it Joe Burrow or it's Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Everybody that says Joe Burrow starts off or finishes off
Say
with,
it again to me.
Sure, but if healthy. And I think that's one thing. Because, if he can win in the playoffs,
I would put the
can
money
stay
on Josh
healthy.
Allen, I think.
To make the Super Bowl
over Joe Burrow staying healthy because there's too many variables. Like Joe Burrow could trip over the chain.
Also, he stayed healthy, 2 years out of his 6, 3 years out of his 6, whatever. Josh Allen is 0 for 6 or 0 for 7 or however. I don't know how long they've each been in the league. It was both. I think Burrow came in around COVID. Allen was a few years before that. The point is, Burrow's got a higher success rate. Now, that's a little bit pedantic and not in good faith for me to make that argument. But the question to me still hinges on Mahomes. Like, Josh Allen, after that, I am so hung up on that divisional game last year. 4 turnovers, or was it 5?
So you're taking Burrow to stay healthy.
Halftime. I think that is going to be a bigger mental block to him than we are giving it credit for. I think the wind has come out of the Bills' sails more than we collectively realize, and I still want to take Joe Burrow in that equation.
Okay,
Joe Burrow broke the league in 2020.
Yeah, so he came in COVID.
So 6 years.
Yeah, and he played 10 games, started in all 10. So it was a late addition to the season.
That's right.
And then played in 16 of 16, 16 of 16, 2023, 10 of 10. So he missed some time in 2023, 17 and 17 in 2024, and then 8 of 8 last year. So he's missed 2 seasons of his 6 due to injury. And the first year he didn't start until, week 6?
Yeah. So he's finished 4 seasons, but only 3 of them were full seasons.
Correct.
I mean,
and he's been to a Super Bowl. He's beaten Mahomes. So there's so much more that people can go back to.
But when do we stop going back to that, guys? Because that was 2022?
I'll tell you exactly when. When another quarterback in the AFC wins one of these Super Bowls. To bring it back to the topic.
Correct.
Burrow's the only other one that's shown he can win in the play. I don't give if Tom Brady rolled out of the booth and quarterbacked the Colts this year, I would then say he's the second or third best playoff quarterback in the AFC, even though he's 50 years old, because he's done it, but none of these other guys have.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. It's hard to pick anybody, really, that you could go out there with. And if you're making the case in the NFC, I mean, Jalen Hurts is really the only guy that has shown you on a consistent basis that he can get your team into the postseason and into the Super Bowl. So long story short is, this league is wide open right now. It is so wide open. I think it's as wide open, guys, as maybe it's ever been. And a lot of that has to do with Mahomes coming back from that knee injury and people not being sure what to think of Patrick Mahomes. But when you really think about it, when was the last time the NFL was this wide open going into the season, where I don't think there really is a clear-cut number 1 team in this league right now?
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor.
You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3.
Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
It is one word brought to you by Maloney's, the Sand Trap in the Landing. 3 great local spots, delicious food, cold drinks, TVs galore to watch your favorite sports teams. They all 3 have outdoor patio seating to enjoy the hot, beautiful summer nights. And don't forget Monday, one word brought to you by the Sand Trap. And today you can get the buffalo chicken wrap, 6-ounce grilled chicken, tossed in buffalo sauce, wrapped in a 14-inch soft tortilla shell with bacon, ranch dressing, lettuce, shredded cheese, tomatoes, and red onions, served with fries, tots, or those wonderful chips. You can kick it up a notch and get it dry rubbed blackened.
Ooh.
Right? All that for
rub.
just $13. Or you can go $9 cheeseburger and fries, $1 off craft beers, all of that at the Sand Trap on a Monday. Nathan, one word.
Got to start off in Motown in Detroit on Saturday, where the captain, Salvador Perez, breaks George Brett's home run record, home run 318 for Salvi. You saw the entire team behind him in the postgame interview. He got the splash, the toast in the clubhouse. These guys, this city, they love Salvador Perez. One word on the home run record set by Salvi.
Fitting. Salvador Perez is literally the only Royal out there that has touched every living generation in a great way. Every single person that is alive today in Kansas City that is a sports fan has had their fandom touched and improved by Salvador Perez. And that's why this one is so cool, because old dudes to middle-aged guys to young kids, we can all look around and go, I know Salvi. I saw Salvi play. I watch big moments from Salvi. Young kids, he's their favorite player. Old dudes, he's our conduit to the 14 and 15 team. Middle-aged guys, that's who you kind of were brought up with when the Royals were winning. It's fitting that he is the guy to hold the home run record, and to have the home run record for a team is pretty awesome too, man. That's pretty special.
Yeah, my one word would be class. We'll get into it a little bit later on, do brioche of the weekend. But yeah, that was special. That was perfect. Storybook. Salvador Perez, your captain. Not only is Salvador Perez your leader in home runs in franchise history, he is co-leader for the most home runs in a single season for the Kansas City Royals with Jorge Soler at 48. So, yeah, Salvador Perez has both. He is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, power hitter the Royals have ever had.
Hell, we may be all dead before we even see somebody come close to that number and pass that number again. And so it's a special moment, man. It really is. I know the season has been a dumpster fire, but Salvador Perez setting this record, it's special. It really is.
Other Royals making news over the weekend. So Andrew Jones, Jeff Kent went into the Hall of Fame alongside Carlos Beltran. Now, Beltran wore a New York Mets cap on his plaque, but he spoke really fondly of his time in Kansas City during his speech, attributed a lot of his success to learning from George Brett in that clubhouse. So one word on Carlos Beltran's career going into the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Spectacular. And I had the opportunity to be around Carlos when he was in his young days here in the Royals, and I'll always remember the day he was traded and how much that sucked, because I never watched anybody play the game to this day even as graceful as Carlos Beltran played center field. I mean, he was so smooth out there. Anytime you needed a big hit, you could count on Carlos Beltran. Great dude inside the locker room. Had a pet monkey at one point that he brought down there. Like, I love Carlos Beltran. I think he should be a manager in Major League Baseball. The Mets ought to hire his ass at the end of this season. He's now in the Hall of Fame right where he belongs. He was an exceptional player.
Yeah. Nostalgia would be my word, because Carlos Beltran was the first athlete I ever received anything from. I remember going down in the dugout after the game. This is back when the Royals would lose 100 games a season, so you could just sit anywhere. And he gave me an armband or whatever it was, so I was locked in. Plus, that was that outfield, Damon Dye Beltran. My life was starting to look great until they all went away. And Dye would go win a World Series with the White Sox, and I think win World Series MVP.
Yeah.
Carlos Beltran would be seen on national television striking out to an Adam Wainwright curveball in a Mets uniform.
Remember that? Oh.
And then getting to watch Beltran with that run with the Houston Astros, where anytime they pitched the ball to him, it was a home run. I think he had 8 home runs in the playoffs that year.
He was magical.
Setting a record or tying a record.
That was the year he was traded from here.
That is the year, yeah. And you just get to watch that, and it was like bittersweet, because you're like, here's this great athlete that we had that was going to be the future. And Carter Jensen now has a chance to surpass his rookie number of 22 home runs with the Royals, also with Bo Jackson. So it was fun. Good for him. Good for George. Good for everyone that got to go see that at Cooperstown. We'll all see
let me just say this about that, too. Why aren't we making a bigger deal out of the Baseball Hall of Fame and the induction ceremony? Like, it gets lost every year. Remember they used to have a game up there involving major league teams, and it was a big deal? I feel like, again, it got lost in the day yesterday.
Well, it was Jeff Kent, Andrew Jones, and Carlos Beltran. They don't really knock the door down other than, like, maybe true, like Andrew Jones is a folk hero in Atlanta, right?
Huge.
Coming up
Did you see Mike Tomlin in the Andrew Jones jersey? Yeah.
It's he came up at 19, played in the World Series. That's what I always remember. Jeff Kent was always kind of like a red ass to Barry Bonds. They had that relationship. And then Beltran was just that guy that, hate to be it, but was linked to the whole trash can thing in Houston.
Right.
And whatever you want to say about it, whoever, they're not like, it's not when Yout, Ryan, and Brett went in. Like, that's a big,
You're right.
That's a big one. Like,
but aren't we getting closer to more stuff like this, though, Dusty, because we're keeping out the true legends of the game?
Correct.
Like, you're letting Carlos Beltran in, who cheated, but yet Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame? Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame?
Now you're going to see those, I don't want to call them B-listers because they're still great athletes, Hall of Famers, but it's not Bonds. Like, this is now that generation of all those athletes that were like Schilling and Clemens and Bonds and Johnson and Pedro and all these guys. So there'll be some, but this one was probably one of those ones where it's like, yeah, that's great. That's stage 2 at Coachella. We'll wait till stage 1 opens up.
And that's a fair point, but stage 1 isn't going to open up because we've got stodgy sports writers on this. This is why the whole election process to the Hall of Fame needs a change. And I always find this to be as despicable as I possibly can. Denny Matthews is in the Hall of Fame, does not have a vote for who gets into the Hall of Fame, yet some slappy who's covered a team for 5 minutes that, has a mustard stain on his shirt, writes for the Baseball Association, that guy gets an opportunity to vote for who gets into the Hall of Fame. The process is a flawed, failed process. And if you're letting Carlos Beltran in, which you should, then everybody else needs to be in as well, because you can't start rating levels of cheating in Major League Baseball. You're either keeping cheaters out or you're not, and you're clearly not, so you got to let Bonds in, you got to let Clemens in, you got to let the guys in that were such superstars when the three of us were growing up and watching these guys. Stop holding out the greatest players the game has ever seen.
I have one word for Beltran. It's DeJesus. The reason is the first game I ever attended. The first game I ever attended was a Friday night in June of 2004, the day after they traded Carlos Beltran. It was the first game since the trade. DeJesus was booed leading off, playing center field that night. Became my favorite Royals player at that moment, until of course Salvador Perez came along. One more for you real quick, because we have made a big deal about this on this show. Jacoby Brissett's holdout has ended in Arizona. His salary has gone up from $4.8 to $15.5 million, with a chance to make up to $21 million this year. One word.
Winning. Congratulations to Jacoby Brissett. He held out and got paid.
Winning.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Winning.
Smart. Good for him. You're on a franchise that had no other option, so why wouldn't you hold out? And you made $11 million over the weekend.
Yeah.
So perfect, great business, genius, Jacoby Brissett. You're a Band-Aid for a team that's going to eventually probably go draft another quarterback, but at least you're getting paid respectably for it. So props to him.
He's going to turn 34 this fall. He's got to be looking at his career saying, how many more of these years do I have left?
How many of these years am I getting given, too? I mean, like Jacoby Brissett shouldn't still be in the NFL.
And I just got $11 million extra dollars, the chance to make it an additional $6 million based on incentives. So good for him and his family, man. That worked out.
Where did he play last year? Was
he was in Arizona last year? Yeah, he was their starter for most, if not part of the year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he wasn't bad. I mean, Jacoby Brissett was a good quarterback last. I mean, he was fine, above average quarterback.
He's not terrible.
You taking him over Mahomes?
Up next on.
Yeah.
Who would have that take?
He's got two good knees, and he doesn't fake injuries.
Yeah. Who would have that take? Is there a national guy that you could see having that take? Who's that guy that works with Colin that we played last
what's the guy that filled in
Jason McIntyre?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett would tell you that his pocket numbers are better than Patrick Mahomes in the last 6 games.
Look, Brissett, 23 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Hey, man.
That's not bad. That's really good,
He's a good quarterback.
$15 million. Why not?
Yeah, good for him.
That is one word brought to you by the Sand Trap on a Monday. Also, go to the Maloney's, go to the Landing. They're all 3 great local spots, delicious food, cold drinks, TVs galore to watch all your favorite sports teams. They have 3 outdoor patio seatings to enjoy the wonderful summer nights. And on a Monday at the Sand Trap, it's Buffalo Chicken Wrap Day. 6-ounce grilled chicken. You can get it blackened or you can get it tossed with buffalo sauce, wrapped in a 14-inch soft tortilla shell with bacon, ranch dressing, lettuce, shredded cheese, tomatoes, and red onions, served with fries, tots, or as mentioned, those wonderful chips at the Sand Trap. $9 cheeseburger and fries, and $1 off craft beers.
And if you see Maloney there, tell him he does a good job being the zookeeper, because Dusty found out about that this week.
Found out about that, and also found out about the Money Keeper with the Ohtani doc that drops tomorrow. What information shall we get here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports?
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control are saying, hey, look, outside right now, your yard probably doesn't look as the best as it could. I know ours did, and that's why we called Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, because when they came into our yard, they took a mess, an absolute disgraceful dumpster fire of a yard, and turned it into the best-looking lawn on the block. And they did it basically overnight. They've done so much great work for our yard. We are so excited about using Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and you should be as well. Our front lawn was a disaster area. There's weeds, there's dirt spots, there's roots everywhere. And finally, we just said, look, can you guys come and help us? And they said, yeah, we got this. We're college-educated professionals. We know exactly what we're doing. We know how to grow the best lawns in Kansas City because we study it every single day. And now that we have a great yard, we love sitting outside. That's why the mosquito dome gets put up. It keeps the mosquitoes out, the fleas, the ticks, all of that. Makes it great for our dog and for us as well. Right now, if you mention this ad, Aspen's going to give you up to half off your first application just by saying, hey, I heard Fescoe talking about it at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Lawman, jungle law.
It's the Lawman. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, call me ASAP, 816-816-9111. I recovered millions for my clients. Take it away.
The lawman gets results. Jungle law team. Call the lawman. Let the fight begin. The lawman gets results. Jungle law.
Come see me get roasted August 1st at 7 p.m. at the Uptown Theater. Go to junglelaw.com for details.
The choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisements.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope. That's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Hey, this is Lauren. And a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's going to add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The burrito is fire.
Hi, this is Maya.
And I'm Antonio. And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito
is that it fuels our morning.
It's the full package.
You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns for a nice little crunch.
The chicken's always nice. It's crispy, it's juicy. And the cheeses, they melt together in a beautiful way.
And it gives me energy. It's perfect.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match results bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. customers must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
It's the summer sales event at Rob's Side Ford. Your chance to upgrade without the stress. Rob Side joins me now. Rob, what's the offer?
0% financing, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on nearly the entire Ford lineup.
That's a serious summer deal.
Sure is. And unlike your brisket last weekend, these deals aren't dry.
Okay, that's fair. These savings are definitely juicy.
And we're backing it up with 2 years of complimentary maintenance, a non-commissioned sales team, and top trade-in values.
No pressure, no gimmicks at Rob's Side Ford. The way car buying should be.
We're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 Google reviews, and a better experience from start to finish.
So skip the smoke and the dry meat. This summer, start at Rob's Side Ford.
135th and State Line or robsightc.com. 0% financing, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
Rob's Side Ford, buy right, drive happy. And next time, maybe stick to potato salad.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
East side 70 eastbound, very heavy. Hit delays before 27th. Stays slow out almost to 31st Street with construction down to 1 lane through the Grandview Triangle. 470 checking in heavy now, getting on to 435 slow. And then just off again, on again, slow stuff from there to the state line. Accident reporting across the state line, but not causing much delay. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Big time documentary drops tomorrow as the Shohei Ohtani scandal that broke. But before we get into that, there's a bounty put out on a Shohei Ohtani card that we talked about on Friday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Secure Collectibles posted a $6.5 million card bounty on their Instagram profile. Is that enough for you that if you got that card, the dual, patch, double auto, 1 of 1 that we talked about with Ohtani's card in this new Topps Chrome 2026, dual gold logo man, double auto. Not sure what it would go for in an auction, because now we're hearing reports it could go from like 8 to 10 million.
Right.
But somebody says before you do that, if you find it, 6.5 million right here.
Done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm absolutely taking that money. That's too much to pass up. Because you don't know if you're going to. What if you get into a dead auction and everybody?
I don't think it's the case with this one.
You don't think so?
I think this is the holy grail of the cards as of right now.
You do. What happens if this podcast comes out and the gambling thing is real, and then all of a sudden it takes a turn the other direction, right? So there's the old saying, "A bird in hand beats 2 in the bush," right? And so I'm going to take the $6.5 million. I could do a lot of good things with that kind of money for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Am I a card vendor that has like $50 million worth of sports cards that I'm gonna make up this loss elsewhere, or am I myself currently?
You go to
and
Target.
I find a card. I'm cashing in on that immediately. I do not have the means to take that risk. I'm taking that money right now.
And I say this, and this is going to sound stupid, but we're only talking like an extra $1.5 million at the end of the day that you could get if it goes for $8 million. Let's say, right?
Taxes.
And then you got that guy. That guy can get bad.
After you buy your mom 5 luxury cars and taxes,
right.
that money is
like everybody ripping Indomitian Sue yesterday for saying $200,000 by the time you pay your taxes and everything. You only got about. He's right.
Tyreek went to Miami. He said it.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. I don't know why people get mad at athletes when they say half our salary goes to taxes, and it does. I mean, look at your own paycheck, for God's sake.
Because if Tyreek's making $30 million a year and then he's bringing home 16,
right?
Yes, that's a lot of money he's losing. But then people are like, okay, but he's netting an amount of money that I don't feel bad for.
Was it Sam Darnold that was
that lost money.
Yeah, had to give back money after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl,
for
lost money, had to
taxes.
write a check to the state of California for taxes.
God.
He lost it all. And so, yeah, I mean, people like, oh, I can't believe he would say something like that. No, but that's the case. I mean, look at your own pay stub and see how much money you get taken out.
It's funny you mention that. Like, what's the card value? You would think that if they thought, this is just my conspiracy with cards because they're everywhere, you'd have thought that if they were worried, this card would have already been revealed.
Maybe.
And it hasn't yet. Like, it's been out for almost a week. Wednesday, I think, or I think Wednesday will be the first full week. And Alex and I have our conspiracies right now.
Let me ask you this. Does Topps know where that card is right now?
Some would say yes. It just depends on who's.
What do you say?
For sure.
Yeah, I think you have to know. You have to know where you put that card.
I think the only reason I would say that is that probably because every box has a tracking number.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to know what box that's in, whether that's in a factory still, whether that's in a box somewhere being ready to be delivered, whether that is on somebody's platform.
Mm-hmm.
I
What
don't
if
know.
somebody did like this that works at Topps, put an Apple AirTag in one of those?
Then we know exactly where it's
I know.
at.
That's what I'm saying. Like, has anybody thought about doing something like that and not telling anybody that they did it? Is like, you got to have an accomplice, obviously, that's on somebody else's phone or something like that.
Like, I know that they have these things in, like, I think it's like the military where, like, they'll have, like, what is it? Like, I think it was like the Bin Laden documentary I saw, right? Like, they had, maybe I'm wrong about this, but they had, like, the different SEALs. There's only one live bullet, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they had like a bunch of packagers and they're like, hey, put this, because it's a redemption, right? Like, the card isn't there.
Okay.
It'll be a
It's
redemption.
redemption,
card,
okay.
Right. So, like, somebody had to have known when they were stacking them, but they might have put like 4 people together and then like taking the box and be like, one of you boxed this. You just don't know who.
And
I don't know.
Unless we're overthinking this whole thing and it literally is just done by the machines in the back that's sealing up and then nobody knows where that card is. But I can't imagine.
If you ever want to
that.
go
No
down a
chance,
deep dive rabbit hole, go into the card industry, because like there'll be things where like these platform people, like Filth Bomb, it's just a name that's had a lot of success pulling one of ones or whatever. And people are like, did Topps like stack those to like drive audience?
Of course,
like, obviously that's there.
Yeah.
But I think this is a little bit of audio of what the documentary, The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani, episode 1.
And I learned there is a paper trail that connects Shohei Ohtani to Matt Boyer. And I've tracked down a source who has that proof. But they're nervous, and it takes weeks before the source agrees to show it to me. And they're not going to make it easy. It's the middle of the night. I'm driving to meet my contact. I find them standing outside of a car in a parking lot waiting for me. I drop into the passenger seat. The contact hands me a cell phone and tells me the proof I want will appear on an encrypted app, and each image will disappear in 30 seconds. I can't take pictures, but I can take notes. I pull out my notebook and I tell my contact, I'm ready. A document appears on the screen, September 14th, 2023, $500,000. I spot the word loan and scribble it down in my notebook, but I don't have time to ask questions because the second document appears, October 2nd, 2023, $500,000. Both documents include the same long list of numbers on the screen. Later, after I drive away, I will stare at the jumble of letters and numbers I scribbled into my notebook, and I'll realize it's routing information. I just saw wire transfers from a bank account at Bank of America, and there's a name attached to the account, Shohei Ohtani.
Hello.
Transferring money to Matt Boyer, who's that bookie. That's good stuff right there.
Drops tomorrow. It's a podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll be listening for sure.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen to him, but I'm locked into this series.
I mean, but why wouldn't anything happen? What if this gets uncovered and we can't not do something about Shohei Ohtani? I mean, if he has direct ties to this guy and knew that this money was coming out, he needs to be banned from baseball. We did it to Pete Rose. Right? We've done it to there is a precedent here.
You're not wrong.
And so this is going to be very interesting that ESPN is doing it as partners with baseball, to an extent still, that this is coming out. But I mean, I'm anxious to see now, as Dusty said before the show, this may be the best part, right? That they just released. That may end up being the best part. But I think more and more information can continue to trickle out. And then it's going to be basically left up to you to decide, right? What you want. They're not going to tell you whether they feel Shohei Ohtani's guilty. It's going to be left up to you to decide. And I think the general public pretty much feels like he was involved in something.
I mean, $500,000
twice.
Yeah. loan. Oh, wait a minute. These aren't cell phone numbers. These are routing numbers. Oh, that's Bank of America. What name? Show? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So obviously this is something that you love to like anticipate to hear, especially in the dog days of summer. But hey, those days are numbered, and you know exactly why. Yellow jersey, red 15, knee brace, throwing football. We talk about it all next here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Shawnee Mission Ford is under all new management, and Shawnee Mission is dealing because summer's better at the lake, on a road trip or hauling a backyard project, and summer's simply better in a Ford. So if you have not shopped Shawnee Mission Ford in a while, well, the rules have changed in your favor. They're never going to be undersold. They're always going to make you feel like family. In fact, if you bring them any written offer on the same vehicle, they will match it or beat it, period. And right now, the F-150 is even better. Get 2.9% APR plus a $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on the new 2026 F-150. That's right, only 2.9% with $1,000 of bonus cash, making the F-150 the truck you could afford this summer. Shop them right now at ShawneeMissionFord.com. That's ShawneeMissionFord.com, just off I-35 on Shawnee Mission Parkway. Life's better in a Ford. Discover yours today at Shawnee Mission Ford. 2.9% APR with approved credit through Ford Credit. Auto buyers will qualify. Excludes Raptor. Dealer administration fee $7.99. Price match applies to a valid written offer from a licensed dealer on an identical in-stock vehicle with comparable mileage and the same trade valuation. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government. Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. southkc.bordermagic.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side 291 northbound with an accident before Hidden Valley Road. Still some off again, on again. Slow stuff coming up from 39th Street. East side 70 eastbound. Bogs down around 23rd. Stays heavy to Van Brunt with construction down to one lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey sports station. Welcome into Fescoe and Dusty.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
A show that, analytically, exists between 6 and 10 weekday mornings on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, buddy.
Live from the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
8 o'clock on a Monday. Hey, what go, man?
Oh, God.
Happy birthday, son.
Yeah.
Matt got hitched. He's off on his honeymoon.
And he's out here tweeting 6 minutes ago about Derrick Rose potentially getting into the Hall of Fame. Like, dude, let it go. You're on your honeymoon.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I sent him an all caps text the night before I started filling in last week.
Yeah.
And said, don't check your effing phone. Get off Twitter for the next 10 days, dude.
Yeah. You just got married.
Get off Twitter, man.
Right. He quote tweets a Dan Patrick Show tweet from January 27th, 6 minutes ago, that says, for a 6 to 8 year stretch, him and LeBron were battling for who was the best player in the game. Reggie Miller believes Derrick Rose will get into the Hall of Fame one day. On January 27th, Mac wakes up hours before he gets on a flight to Hawaii.
Okay,
tweets that and goes, what? Excuse me.
I was going to say the only way in which this is okay is if he's sitting in the airport or on a plane waiting to take off. But if he's in Hawaii doing this.
No, you're at the airport right now. You're taking people of, using a seat for their luggage, taking their shoes off. Just inhumane behavior at the airport. It's a Monday morning, too, so there's a lot of weekend stragglers still out there.
We had a Fescoe conversation amongst our guy friends before we went to Gulf Shores, right? It was hot in Kansas City. When we were landing, it was going to be like 92 in Pensacola. And I was like, well, we're going to be basically just like meeting people until our place opens up at the pool/beach. Should I fly in my swim trunks, a nice shirt, and my flip-flops? My buddy goes, I don't know about flip-flops on the plane.
Yeah, I don't know about flip-flops.
And I was like, okay, fair enough. Walking the airport, I'll respect that. So I wore tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Flip-flops are a no-go on the plane?
Yeah, for me they are.
House slippers with socks.
Out. Yeah. Put some real shoes on.
Slides with socks.
I'm not a slides guy. So,
okay.
I mean, I would say it comes down to like odor. The problem is I don't trust 95% of people to make the right call on that when it applies to their feet. So as a general rule, it has to be no sandals.
I packed one pair of socks. They're the ones I wore on the way out. One pair of shoes, the ones I wore out right when I got there. Shoes, socks in the same place, and sandals the rest of the time.
Right. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. No, going on the plane, though, you're right, Nathan, the odor. And as you say all the time, that or this, when you take a whiff of something. So
and by the time you smell it, it's too late.
It's way too late, yeah.
But, yeah, we are back to camp. August 6th is the Hall of Fame game, so I believe that's a week from this Thursday.
That's right, yeah.
Football's here. That time of year, I think, is here. And this is a sports season conversation because I know there's a lot of people that are probably either coming back from vacation or maybe you did your, local travel stuff or your whatever you had in this off season. But I think the most important thing about when we see these guys report to St. Joe, and obviously Cody and Gold will be there today broadcasting live from 10 to 2, dueling out the heat. Get your tally sheet ready for how many times they mentioned the weather. But props to them, man. That's a tough gig today.
That's a tough gig today.
I'm not going to lie.
Really is,
Tough gig today. But yeah, Cody and Go live from St. Joe. When I hear that and we get the schedule from the boss, a couple weeks ago, like, hey, especially when you were on vacation as well. And it was, hey, just a heads up. We're 60 days away from the first game of the season. We're 30 days away from the first, training or the first preseason game. You're like, okay, here we go. Exactly. We're back. And to me, I think there's a lot of people, I think the debate that always happens when it comes to the seasons is like, are you team like early spring or are you team early fall? And a lot of the people that lean towards early fall, I haven't really noticed until I've been around people that have children, right, that are getting older. And you're starting to see the antsiness kind of foil out. Like the kids are starting to get bored with having nothing.
It's time to go back to school.
The kids kind of want to go back. The parents want to go back. And then you think about it as well. You're like, oh, the Chiefs are at camp. That means crockpot days are around the corner, hoodies and shorts, the comfy days, the nice weather, all that's starting to happen. And football kind of embraces all of that, especially when you see the yellow jerseys and the shorts go out there to St. Joe and start throwing the ball around.
Yeah, it's time. I mean, you mentioned the kids getting ready to go back to school. The kids are now even ready to go back to school. It's time for them to kind of get back, into that routine and get things moving in the right direction. And, football camp always, for me, signified the end of summer. From the time I was in high school to where I am now. Summer now, as we sit here, is officially over.
From like a scheduling standpoint, I know the weather, you're going to go out there today.
Right,
you're going to feel like
weather-wise, yes.
like
but that could last until September, October, for God's sakes.
But like seeing this kind of gives you that drive of like, okay, like, Nathan, you went on a vacation. You went and saw some baseball at, different places. Bob, you went to New Orleans. I went to the beach, whatever. And now it's kind of like, hey, guys, why do you say the summer's over? Well, because now we have a show going to broadcast live in St. Joe.
Right.
We have football players speaking. Now, veterans will report soon. Right now, it's
this week.
Yeah, now it's just quarterbacks and rookies. And when you see that, you're kind of like, all right, fall's among us. All right, what do we have to knock out in October and November? Oh my gosh, we got to start putting, Christmas ideas together. And I think part of that is one of the biggest indicators is the fact that football begins.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are excited for football this season. I think people are kind of, over the doldrums of what happened last year, over the doldrums of talking about the Mahomes injury and, all the players that are in now. I think a lot of folks are ready to go and are feeling really good about this and really great about where this football team stands. And I think when you look around, the rest of the NFL right now, we don't have a lot of problems compared to a lot of these other teams that are out there right now. There are teams that are trying to work in a new head coach. There are teams that are trying to work in new quarterbacks. There are teams that are trying to work in a whole new system, a new stadium. Look, say what you want about Buffalo. That new stadium is going to be a bit of a distraction this year because everybody's going to be celebrating and talking about, the new stadium. I mean, God, they built in a busted table in there, which was really cool, man. Like, that's one of the coolest things I've seen.
Like 20 feet?
Yeah. They got a plastic table they built into the stadium, that people jump into. And so, you're right. The new stadium does add in because there's all sorts of things that these players are going to have to be part of with the new stadium opening that they don't want to be part of and deal with. And so you're going to have all of that going on out there right now. But I think Kansas City, man, as we turn the calendar now officially to fall because of football starting, they're in a great spot right now for a quarterback coming off a gruesome knee injury last year.
And I think, the obvious, elephant in the room is people are more entertained by watching football on Sunday than watching game 97 of the baseball season, especially when your baseball season has been a bit of a disaster with the record and where they stand. If the Royals were, better and a good product, and let's say they were like a game out of the wild card or they were 3.5 from their division, you'd be like, guys.
Yeah,
we still got base. Trust me, we know. We'd be talking all things about what they've done since the All-Star break when it comes to what they've won 2 series. One was a sweep. One, they took 2 out of 3. And this one, they split with the Tigers after losing the first 2. They look fine, but it's a little too late, right?
Yeah,
it's just way too late. And then you see Mahomes get out there, and the story of the NFL, or one of these stories of the NFL, is the fact that Patrick Mahomes is out there cleared to play. And you think about that, and the first thought of your mind goes, oh, yeah, Monday Night Football against Denver is coming right up there around the corner. It'll be September. We're already almost done with July. It'll be August 1st on Saturday.
Right.
We're here.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of the people that, talk about their favorite time of the year, a majority of the people that will respond, like if you did a Family Feud episode and said, what's your favorite part about the fall? Yes, a lot of answers would be the weather.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more answers would be football. And a lot of people, this is what this is their time. This is what they love. This is Saturday's college, Sunday's NFL, weather's getting better, kids are back in school. My life is much more easier because I have something to look forward to every single Sunday, and that just so happens to be the Kansas City Chiefs, plus life gets back into a normal rhythm. And I think we all love, not the rut, but like the normal everyday thing where it's like, all right, kids are going to come home about 4 o'clock. They're going to have dinner ready.
It's routine and it's necessary.
And you intend to love it. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, maybe you're a really, really, big inside of the football. Like you make it a point to go to St. Joe once or twice during training camp. And then you go to a preseason game because that's not where the crazies are. Or you've got a young kid who you want to introduce to football. no better time than to go to a preseason game.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to a preseason game this year. Got an invite from somebody. We're doing for our Building Hope for Autism Foundation.
Nice.
We're having a little night out there for one of the preseason games. And so that's going to be a lot of fun, as well, to do all that kind of stuff. But, I'm kind of going through our schedule. And, if the Chiefs are playing a night game, obviously we don't go to the night games because of the schedule. Mm-hmm. It's like every other game. We're like, all right, we're there for that one. We're there for and I can't wait to get the season started. Like, I'm excited to get back to Arrowhead and start tailgating again. I mean, Ralph texted me yesterday. He goes, "You want this crap or 45 and sunny?" I go, 45 and sunny. Let's go. Right. Give me a 6 a.m. meet at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Get on the bus. Noon game. Early morning tailgate where you have that crispness, in the air, and a couple of THC beverages in the lot. People are having a good day, right? And I think that's what people are craving, and that's what people are wanting. And I think the anticipation for this football season, guys, I don't know, feels kind of like coming off that first AFC championship game where they lost to New England, but people were genuinely excited. And I feel like there's just a lot of anticipation this year because of the baseball team being back. Because you're right. If you're in a baseball city right now, like if you're a White Sox fan, if you're a Cub fan, if you're a Yankee fan, if you're a Boston fan, there's a handful of cities out there that are still obviously going to be passionate about their baseball team. But for the rest of us whose seasons have long dissipated, it's now time for football, and everybody gets excited for the start of football season. I can't wait, man. I think it's going to be so much fun this year.
I think the other thing, too, is we know this is going to be a camp cliche of hearing the nonstop of it's just been a longer offseason, but, to the text line as well. Yeah. Like, it's been a long offseason for the Chiefs in a decade. Like, normally your football fatigue doesn't really, wear off until about, the draft. And then you're like, all right, I guess that season's over. We've had our, parade. We've had our playoff run. We had the Super Bowl, whatever it was, win or loss. You were going all the way to almost the second week of February.
Yep.
And then blink and you're like, oh yeah, the draft's here. Well, this team's had so much time this offseason to kind of get things right from what was a 6-11 season that now people are intrigued, especially when the most important man in your city that plays sports is coming off a catastrophic knee injury. You want to see what this team is about, what it's going to do, and it didn't help, obviously, with the other side of it, that your baseball team didn't have the best season either.
Exactly. So. And so people are now, and look, and there's no stadium nonsense this year too. Like everybody knows that's done. We can focus on the product on the field. It's all about, what's going to take place with the football team. And I think there's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of great new young players that we're excited about. I think anyway, the Mahomes situation, even though I told you in January, December, he was going to be just fine. Now we know he's going to be just fine. So there's so much out there right now, and how Andy's going to bounce back, man. Like we're already hearing reports of Bieniemy holding dudes accountable up there. I'm sure he's going overboard, which is, you knew that was going to happen. But how Andy bounces back as well. This is such an intriguing season, man. I'm so excited for it.
And Dusty, I forgot all about how this offseason was so much longer than ones previously.
Yeah.
Like I had that feeling last December. I was thinking about this is going to be a long offseason, but man, it literally ended 6 weeks earlier than we're used to. But for all intents and purposes, it ended 3 or 4 weeks earlier than that.
Yeah.
With the injury or with the Thanksgiving loss even. That's 2.5 months. 2 months from now is the start of October.
That's right.
We, in our bones, we feel like football should be here, right here and now.
Right.
Ready to go.
We are ready to go. And you mentioned, the longness of the season. I mean, for my mental health, going through January and February with this team has been just remarkable. Mm-hmm. Remarkable that we just had that team to root for. And now it's going to be back. I mean, I'm watching highlights right now on Channel 4. They're showing, Patrick Mahomes handing off to Emmett Johnson. I'm like, oh my God, I need more of this.
And nobody sums it up better than Harold Kuntz of Fox 4. As all is well today, this comes from yesterday. Patrick Mahomes working under center, shotgun, 3-5, 7-step drops, looking precise, even versus the air. Coming up on the other side, I think I have a good idea of what college football could do to make a lot more money. And Feinbaum gives his take as well on the college football scenario that could develop in the years to come here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Debbie Hardy's is closed.
Well, that dog.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500 Mike's got this.
Hey, the summer gets super hot, so now you need to get a Super Light. That's right. The team that brought you Surfside is back with something new. Meet Super Light, the new vodka plus aid canned cocktail. Super Light comes in 4 classic sports drinks flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. And ooh, that blue chill is money, baby. With just 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for any occasion. From the golf course to the bar, at night, at the concert, a day at the ballpark, Super Light is here for the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
DQ presents Being a Miracle Maker. Making a difference in your community has never been easier because July 30th is Miracle Treat Day at DQ. You buy a blizzard tree at participating locations and DQ will donate $1 or more to Children's Miracle Network to benefit your local children's hospital. So on July 30th, buy a blizzard tree and be a miracle maker, a blizzard eating hero, doing their part on Miracle Treat Day. July 30th, DQ. Happy tastes good.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
My Lowe's Pro Rewards members, save big during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get your member volume discount plus an extra 5% off eligible orders with a quote of $2,000 or more. And buy more and save more with up to 20% off in-stock molding when you spend $250 or more. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 7/31. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Can't be combined with any contract or special pricing. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
This July is America's 250th birthday, and Lotse Center is celebrating 250 years of freedom with their 250 for 250 deal. All month long, men who start testosterone therapy and stay with it for 90 days earn $250. You're over 40, you've got low energy, low sex drive, not feeling yourself. Lotse Center is raising the T of America Patriots from sea to shining sea. Come celebrate 250 years of America with Low T Center's 250 for 250 deal. Visit FixMyLowT.com and book your free tea test today. That's FixMyLowT.com. Offer in July 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
This is George Karloftis, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
East side, 70 eastbound, pretty heavy. You hit delays about 23rd, and it stays very heavy almost to 31st Street with road work down to 1 lane and through there. Grandview Triangle, things look good. 435 westbound, still rolling from there to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
This sounds a lot different than J.J. Gray and the Mofros.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Pablo Torre is now all over this Mike Lombardi thing.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he says he quote tweeted somebody to
Well,
Pablo.
let the people know what.
Mike
happened.
Lombardi, GM of the North Carolina football team, has been placed on administrative leave effective immediately. So I think we probably all can, use our imagination. But Pablo Torre was tweeted just when you thought you'd have a slow August. He goes, "We play the long game here." So he's been looking into Mike Lombardi probably since. There's a tweet from October that he's been looking into Mike Lombardi since. There it is.
More to come from North Carolina, as if it couldn't top last year's opening season. But wait, there's more.
Now the guy who literally is Belichick's right-hand man forever, right? This guy knows where everybody's buried in New England. He's now been placed on administrative leave. It's going well down there.
Yeah, does Bill Belichick coach North Carolina next year?
No.
Oh, you think it's 2 and done?
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was going to be 1 and done. What do you think?
I have no idea. I mean,
let's see how this year goes, too. Like, if it's an utter disaster again, his reputation just is continuing to get worse, right? Am I the only one who feels that way? Like, every day that goes by and more stuff like this comes out of North Carolina, doesn't Belichick's reputation just become worse and worse and worse, where people just kind of look at him now and go, I'm not buying what you were selling?
I think so. I still can't believe he's the head coach of North Carolina. I've watched the games. I've followed the news cycle. I still refuse to believe that it actually exists.
I'm not trying to be morbid here, but I know people do life differently, and we do have this horrible disease called Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And in life, you are given the option because you are a human being and you have your own ways of doing things. And maybe you've had a grandparent or a parent that suffered from early onset dementia that led to something. And you're always given the question, do you want to go see them who they are now? Or do you just want to keep the memories, no shame in your game, whatever you choose to do?
Right.
This kind of seems like the metaphor of Bill Belichick's career. Like, people are like, oh, man, I didn't want to see him go out like this. I want to remember the days of him being the hoodie at New England, coming out, not high-fiving kids, always being plain Jane in the media. And then you're like, oh, there was that time that he had North Carolina and a 26-year-old girlfriend, and now his right-hand man has been set off to go somewhere else and get away. And you're just like, I didn't want to see it like this.
Right.
I don't care if you liked or didn't like Bill Belichick. This is why a lot of guys shouldn't continue moving forward. Just end it. Do the Breaking Bad thing. Leave them wanting more,
right?
Because you've given them plenty.
But you mentioned the Breaking Bad side of things. Their drug, their meth, if you will, is winning and the chase and
money
and being in the limelight and being popular. And Tom Brady left New England when he did, and that's when Bill Belichick should have left New England. They never should have left it up to, let's see what we can do in New England without Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick should have left and walked out the door. His biggest mistake was staying on and then watching Tom Brady obviously go win a Super Bowl doesn't really help the matter. So as soon as Tom Brady left, he wins a Super Bowl, everybody immediately went to Bill Belichick and went, you're no good without Tom Brady. The numbers do prove that. You look at his numbers without Tom Brady, and then he gets fired in New England, and then here we sit now. He's coaching a team at North Carolina at a university. The alums don't like him down there, really. The 26-year-old girlfriend, you're right, man. It's like, I wish we would have seen Bill Belichick just kind of step away, but this drug called ego drives these guys, and they always think they can do anything that they want because they have that ego, and this is where ego gets in the way and ultimately probably costs Bill Belichick the perception game out there right now.
It's kind of like the same for Pete Carroll. It's like, man, did you really need to go coach at Vegas for that year, dude? Like, you had your time in Seattle. You were fine in college. Obviously, the allegations were there, but who didn't have them?
Right.
And then it's like, man, you're going to go coach the Raiders? Oh, just don't know. Okay, well, yeah. Because somebody on the text line says, as a lifelong Patriots fan, UNC has never happened. I just shunned that out of my life. Yeah,
and I hate the Patriots. I still don't believe that it's real.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you're like, nah, Grandpa didn't say that.
Exactly.
No, well, he did.
But what's he trying to gain by being down there at North Carolina, right? Like, what's the end
he can
game?
Still do it. Because now the college game, this is just me spitballing.
Okay.
I think Bill Belichick looked at this opportunity as, this is my only opportunity.
Well, that's
it's still a prized area. It's UNC. It's, the Tar Heels. But college football is kind of similar nowadays to the pro football world. And I bet I could kind of damper in there and kind of make a difference in it because we're now being able to pay players. We can hire general managers. I can still coach, and I can still dictate everything that I do. The only problem is that there are boosters in college, and it is different than the pro, even though there are now new similarities to both, right? Like players can opt out of contracts and go play somewhere for more money, and the talent is better. So I think for him, he got paid to do it handsomely. He didn't have to stop doing football. It's like, same thing, not comparing the two people, but it'd be like going to Jay Binkley and be like, hey, this week on the show, no football talk. He'd be like, yeah, well, that's not happening.
Right.
It's like, hey, Bill, you don't get to coach football anymore. He's like, nah, somebody will want me. And he ends up going to North Carolina.
I had a much more cynical view of why he went to North
Go
Carolina.
for it. Tell me. Yeah.
I think he's a workaholic that retired and doesn't like sitting around in the silence with his own thoughts.
Probably.
How do I get a job out here?
Yeah, there is something to be said.
A 3-9 football team in the ACC wants me? Oh, great.
Yeah, but you're right. There's something to be said for that. And again, that goes, I think, back to the ego. But this is also a guy that's got boats and all this kind of stuff in Nantucket. Like, go up there and just enjoy life and live the life of being Bill Belichick, because I think that every day that goes by now with this guy, his reputation and his historical presence continues to weaken. It continues to get worse. He's not making a case for himself, to become a better person in the football world. Every day that goes by, he's becoming less and less of what we thought he really was.
Yeah, I'll remember. What is it like? I'll remember this guy for here, but I don't like. I never saw Jordan play for the Wizards. I saw him play for the Bulls. Didn't see him play for the Wizards. This is interesting audio, and I think there's a really good idea that college football could do, because the SEC obviously has gone 4 years in a row without winning a title in college football.
When you're the SEC and you boast with the best of them, and all the cliches and the monikers, and you don't make it to the national championship game 3 straight years, you got a problem. And that intensifies the pressure. And that's where we are right now. I don't think there's a bare minimum for it's not like the SEC has to have a playoff team or 4 playoff teams or 5 like they did last year. The SEC is not about, like Miami. Well, we made it to the championship game. I remember I covered a lot of Nick Saban in my career. And I remember walking out of stadiums when Alabama was undefeated and they lost a national championship game, which they did a couple of times. And the season felt like a complete failure.
So Feinbaum there with the audio. Nothing sells sports better than a relatable rivalry. And obviously we love, Florida-Tennessee games. Yeah. We love, Michigan-Ohio State, those type of games. The
Alabama-Auburn.
The Red River Shootout. Yeah, the Iron Bowl games. This is where college football needs to get creative. And start putting the juggernauts of the Big Ten and the SEC and make it a game.
Yeah,
and make it a game. Like, I know that they will have games this year, the SEC Big Ten Challenge, right? Promote it. Start now. Put a couple games on Netflix. Put a couple games on, ESPN obviously will get some rights. NBC, ABC, whatever it may be. And really bleed that stuff that doesn't matter to kids that weren't there 4 years ago. But hell, man, I grew up in Kansas City my whole life, and people came and go from Kansas and Missouri, and you'd have never known those guys weren't there when Anthony Peeler was there, or when that Paulo Lenny guy from Mizzou was there, or Rafe LaFrentz was there. It didn't matter because the tradition was there. Build this up, have them just go head-to-head, and have, promotions from both sides. Like, well, the Big Ten's the future of the football. Well, the SEC has all these titles. Well, Georgia's still got Kirby Smart. Well, Ryan Day is still at Ohio State. Let's see these guys play. Let's see these sort of college football games be played and promoted as such, as if the college football playoff has started in the middle of November.
And it would be outstanding to see something like that, the Big Ten SEC Challenge. And you're right with putting it on Netflix, because that's what Netflix wants. And so
they put big games and big moments on their stream.
That's right. They want moments. They have said that. They don't want games. They have no interest in games. They have interest in moments. And I think that's where sports in general is going to. And I read something about the World Cup over the weekend. We can bring it up tomorrow when I get kind of more in on it, but how the World Cup may start to change the way the games are now televised in the United States because of that 2 p.m. schedule that everybody watched, right? You don't need to run these games so late at night. So maybe we're going to start seeing some teams or leagues play more, afternoon type games because people will watch. But if you're the SEC this year, you got more pressure than just about anybody in sports. Imagine going a fourth year without going to the championship game, right? And having a team in the championship game. That's what they're facing this year right now. And with no team there in the title game this year, you've now got an entire graduating class where the entire SEC is not going to see one of their schools represented in the national championship game. And this is a league that's out here worrying about splitting off from college football instead of what Dusty suggested and embrace being with the Big Ten and some of these other conferences and create some really good moments and games that you can sell out that are huge and that people want to see. And if you start playing the Big Ten and the SEC Challenge instead of that useless SEC non-conference game that they play in November where they play East Toenail State and all these other horses ass places, play the SEC Big Ten Challenge that Saturday and just tally up the wins. Whoever wins more wins and they get a trophy and they do something like that. You've got to create these moments for these big streamers because that's really truly what folks want. But the SEC guys, you're facing a big one this year. If you don't make the championship game, you can't go out there and tell people you're the best conference.
Because last year we got a really good taste of it. The game didn't result in something that was exciting, but we started the season off with Ohio State versus Texas.
Yep.
And we were all at your house. Everybody was pretty locked in from the get-go.
Yeah.
But have that more often. Have that, you've got holidays that you can piggyback off of. Have the Halloween schedule or something like that. Have a big Thanksgiving Day slate or have I know the NFL gets Thanksgiving Day, but Black Friday, there's a few NFL games, but that's where you could really pile up Georgia versus, Florida if they were really good or something like that where you could have Big Ten SEC matchups that are built, promoted, and thrown in with a little bit of shade because in college football, we are now at a place where it's are they SEC? Are they Big Ten?
You remember back in the day in college basketball when you used to have that bracket buster weekend, at the end of February? Why don't we do that? Why don't they call it bracket buster between the Big Ten and the SEC and play games? And you don't announce the games until 10 days before, right? And they're based on where teams are in the standings and all that kind of stuff. So maybe you take your Ohio State and you're playing against Alabama. I'm sure those teams wouldn't like it, but so what? The fans want this kind of stuff. If all of a sudden that random Saturday in November became the Big Ten SEC Challenge and they seeded the games based on where they were and you played matchups based on 1v1, 2v2, all the way down, that would be a home run. People would absolutely love that weekend of college football. It would be one of the bigger weekends of college football, I think.
Because the last SEC team to win was the Burrow-led LSU Tigers? Is that right? 2019?
No,
Georgia's been in.
Georgia,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then why don't we have Georgia, Indiana play?
Yeah.
Week one.
Week one, sure.
Georgia's number, where are they ranked in the top 10? Are they even ranked in the top 10? Georgia, they got to be, right? Yeah, number 3, Indiana, number 6. Hello.
Yeah.
Right? If we're going to do Denver and Kansas City of Monday Night Football, which is a historic rivalry, you got two guys coming back from injury. The game sells itself without even talking about the future expectations of 2026. You'll talk about that game. Obviously, you don't have anything to go off of live football other than preseason and training camp, but you have Bo Nix and the Broncos, who beat the Chiefs twice last year. You have Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix coming back from injury. Mm-hmm. You've got Sean Payton, who's always been linked to Bountygate, with Mahomes coming back with a brace on his knee. You've got Andy Reid coming off of a 6-11 season. You have the Broncos coming off an AFC champ. Not said anything about the current rosters other than the quarterbacks and the coaches. Yet there's Ken Walker. Yep. There's Jalen Waddle. There's a new season. It's Monday Night Football. Indiana, last Big Ten team to win the national championship. Georgia, last SEC team to win the national championship. Battle of the best. Who's the better team in the SEC Big Ten? And then that starts it off, and then you move forward after that, and then you sprinkle in a few other big highlighted games throughout the season. Texas versus whoever, right? Put those two together. Have Arch Manning sell you stuff. It won't be hard to do that with where he's projected to go in the draft and where he's projected to finish a Heisman Trophy candidate. So I think there's a huge money grab here, and college football that's kind of gone through a minor renaissance in itself.
It
with what has
has
been going on. Nobody cares about Notre Dame and who they play, unfortunately. But
that's why I love the Bracket Buster weekend and doing that in November. The more you've talked, the more I've fallen in love with doing that game in November and that weekend in November, because you're going to get your pretty decent matchups at the beginning of the year, and then you have they dissipate for a while, like Kansas playing Long Island University or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you get the conference stuff ramped up, but you always have that weekend in November where the SEC plays East Toenail States of the world. And I know they're trying to get rid of that week. That is the perfect week to do something like this. I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think it would generate a ton of interest, guys, right? Like, I think so many people would be dialed in if all of a sudden you had Ohio State taking on Alabama on Saturday afternoon at 11 a.m. on Netflix, because and the winner of that gets the leg up as you start to adjust for the college football playoff.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just like the idea of putting it at the very end of the schedule. Maybe you move rivalry week up, you eliminate a non-con week at the start, whatever.
Yeah,
it's announced based on the rankings later in the season, and it's not a play into the playoffs, but it is something that really helps bolster, because at the end of the season, we're always sitting here with a 12-seed Appalachian State or East Carolina, and we're saying, yeah, they get into the playoffs, look what's going to happen. And then we see that with a James Madison. They get in the playoffs, they get smoked.
Right.
Well, if that 12-seed James Madison has to play 10-seed LSU, who's also vying for a playoff spot and is hungry, and beats them, well, then we're confident they deserve to go to the college football playoffs. And instead of, I'm looking at KU's schedule, Bob. It is Long Island University.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
You don't need that game on
And
the
the other
schedule.
thing you could also say, and I know that this is part of the sports gamble. That's why I never liked when the Chiefs and Bengals would play, and it'd be like December. Because, one, I don't know if Burrow's going to be healthy, and I want to see Burrow versus Mahomes.
Right.
And last year, if you watched game one of Arch Manning at Texas versus maybe the best defense in football last year of Ohio State, and then you watched the rest of the season, you saw the progression of Arch Manning throughout the season. As Bob has alluded to, put that game in November, these teams have 5 or 6 games under their belt. Now we're going to see the best. But the gamble is, are they all going to have the same sort of full rosters? Likelihood, no. Right? Some guy for, what was it, like the Panthers or somebody, like blew his ACL out on day one.
Yeah, that poor lineman guy's done.
Season's over. But again, like, that's where you get this to be a rivalry. Like, put these two conferences against each other, because they're both extremely egotistical from what they have, as they should be, right? The SEC is rich with history. The Big Ten is now richer in current history. And you can build that, and those coaches will love it. That will help recruitment as well. And you throw that on as like the Halloween game of the week on Netflix, sold.
Yeah. Absolutely. People would eat that up, and it would be that next step for college football, because if they do take that next step, then you're continuing to grow the game. You're continuing to grow. I think, obviously, if Netflix is going to pay for this, the schools that are involved get money for their NIL.
Sure.
You continue to raise more money. You continue to bring in more dough to pay the players, maybe keeping the players, here in college for a little bit longer, as opposed to jumping to the NFL to be a 4th or 5th round draft pick. So everything that you can do to build exposure from the game and to make more money for the game is going to make college football that much better. And college football, I know people will say it's not in a great spot, but it is. I think it's in a wonderful spot right now if you embrace the changes that have been implemented in college football and college sports.
The live dollar era is what it is in. This is an interesting post from Ari Meroff. Comes about 3 minutes ago. What a press release from the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have fired tight ends coach Ben Steele, who they hired this offseason.
Never heard of him.
They will have no further comment.
Oh, that's the release?
That's it. That's from Ari's post. They have fired a coach they hired this offseason. There will be no further comment.
Oh, yeah. Here's their tweet.
Yeah.
We are parting ways with tight end coach Ben Steele. The team will have no further comment at this time. Well, what did that guy do? You'd
That's
have been
gambling
better.
right there.
Okay.
Right there,
that could be. I didn't even think of that when I was thinking of other stuff. But you're the Washington Commanders. Who the hell knows who the tight ends coach is, right?
Everybody now.
That's exactly. You just do that. Don't tell anybody.
Nobody knew who Connor Embry was until he went 6-11.
That's exactly right.
Preemptively saying we have no further comment,
meaning that we don't want to.
People are going to be reaching out for comment.
That's exactly why you don't release something like that. Who's going to, all right, let's just talk real quick here. the head coach of the 49ers got into a car accident. They covered that up for like 11 days, right? Nobody knew for like 11 days that guy got into a car accident.
Yeah, for those of you that didn't know, Kyle Shanahan was in a car accident on July 14th.
Right. And it just came out yesterday or whatever.
And there were certain news reporters that knew about it. And were agreeable to say hush, hush.
Hush, hush. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, they better get taken care of in a big way because they were told hush, hush about all this kind of stuff. So they kind of let this thing go away and nobody said anything about it. Now, today, you're firing your tight ends coach. Just fire that guy. You don't have to announce it. He's a tight ends coach.
No further comment.
Nobody's going to know if he's on the field. Nobody's going to know if he's there. Like, who's good? Like, no offense, I don't even know that like Nate Taylor and Pete Sweeney would pick up if the tight ends coach of the Chiefs wasn't out there on the field. Nobody's looking at these guys. There's 30 assistant coaches now. You hardly know who they are. Now Washington has opened the door. What a morning. You got North Carolina firing their GM, no further comment. You've got Washington firing their tight end coach, no further comment. What the hell's going on this morning?
Which the irony of that leads to so many more comments.
Yeah, because now everybody's going to speculate, you know?
Top 2 text, 913. Who'd he sleep with?
Yeah.
Second comment, oh, he messed up good.
I mean, when you get dismissed for whatever reason and we will have no further comment, they're not even wishing these people well.
Ooh, boy. Tough day to be a tight ends coach. I want to give some respect to a radio broadcaster on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Heartland Men's Health know that if you're dealing with ED, hey, we all know it's a little sensitive, right? It's a little sensitive, but we also know that, hey, there's other folks out there that are dealing with the same thing, and Heartland Men's Health can help. They have licensed medical providers that will take the time to help you with your ED and to understand your unique medical situation and recommend a plan that's right for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, which means you can enjoy intimacy again without the stress and uncertainty that ED can bring. Heartland Men's Health uses advanced medical science to empower male performance with therapies that go far beyond pills. Like I said, they have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating guys right here in Kansas City, and they're ready for you. So call them today and find out why their advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Man, I should not have tried to handle this car wreck stuff myself.
Why?
Insurance keeps calling. I gotta find a body shop, rental car, doctor's appointments. Now they're asking for a bunch of other things.
Dude, why are you trying to do this yourself?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
That's literally what they do. You worry about getting better. They deal with the insurance, the paperwork, the calls, all of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all.
One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
East side 70 eastbound, heavy from 23rd over to a little past Van Brunt with construction down to one lane, and then sluggish towards 31st. Heading through the Grandview Triangle, things look good. 470 westbound, 435 westbound, still rolling from Holmes to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Moving right along on a Monday.
They aren't.
Yeah, it's Shawnee Mission Parkway. Very standstill. Got to think to yourself, this has got to be the worst day to fart in someone's car. Because you're not rolling the windows down. You letting 110 heat index creep inside your car? That's already
we
hard
did
to keep
yesterday. Both Jen and I had a silent but deadly one in the car yesterday. You just roll it down.
If you're moving, you can roll it down.
Okay.
If you're sitting still, though,
at a red light,
that's
you
a
break
dilemma.
wind.
I'm probably kicking the passenger out in that scenario.
What if it's you, though? You're in your own car.
What they say, everybody can stay in their own brand?
Yeah, it's true. It's crazy.
Ooh, that was bad. Shouldn't have that burrito last night.
Yeah, but if somebody else does that, you're like, oh my God, it stinks.
Yeah, it's always different when it comes from someone else's ass.
Who's going to have the better story, the Michael Lombardi story or the tight ends coach for Washington?
That is all that we are going to have for comment today. That's just...
Who's going to have the better story?
That's always worse than, like, what'd my son do? We'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You can't talk about it. I need to have this in person. Okay. Dusty was in the principal's office for the third day in a row. What did he do?
The tight ends coach was fired, and they tweet out, we have fired our tight ends coach, no further comment. Like, what did this guy do? Did he take an extra burger at lunch?
I don't think that would... I don't know if that would get you fired. Oh. That's just Ford employees taking too many cookies from the vending machine and then getting rehired. So this weekend, if you missed it, Salvador Perez surpassed George Brett with his 318th home run in Royals franchise history, all with the Kansas City Royals becoming the new home run king in Kansas City Royals history. Couldn't have had a better call on it.
Swing and a ball well hit. Left field, way back and gone. He's done it. Salvador Perez, number 318 in his career. He's now the Royals franchise leader in home runs. One legend replaces another. Salvador Perez rounding the bases. And the Royals tying the game 2-2. See history made in Detroit. Saldy gets a big hug from Vinny Pasquantino. And the hugs continue as he makes his way back to the dugout. A no doubter to left ties the game for Salvi, his 15th on the year, 318 home runs. He's the all-time Royals franchise leader in long balls. Congratulations to the captain.
Well done by Steve Stewart there. Well done. Definitely worth the round of applause, because I mentioned this earlier, and I know not everybody's in their car at 6:30 that isn't in their car at 8:48. But if you are driving around with, a kid or, your child, and they say, man, I really want to do, sports broadcasting, that is something that you can bookmark and save, because that is perfectly executed. That was not, bloviated to a over-the-top voice. That wasn't a look at me as I'm announcing this, like, I've seen a lot of Perez home runs. Right. Cool. That was Steve Stewart, raw, in the moment, giving you what you can't see because it's on the radio that you could have heard right here on 96.5 The Fan. And that's one of those things that is maybe nerdy when it comes to this industry, but he did such a great job of giving you what was happening in the moment, the surprise factor when he says way out to left, and then you kind of feel yourself as I've probably seen the highlight of it. You're watching him or listening to him explain all of that, but seeing it the exact same way that you may have saw it on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, wherever you watched the home run, or maybe you watched it live, and having Steve Stewart do it that way, like mentioning the hugs before he gets into the dugout, you now know that the players are lined up waiting for Salvador Perez. Vinny Pasquantino, who was mentioned last week when I was there, when he tied the record, Salvador Perez was a mentor to me. You look at your catcher that's a rookie this year that might surpass the all-time home run, which is ironing itself. Carter Jensen, the catcher of the future, could set the Royals rookie home run record as a rookie, as a catcher, as the veteran and captain is hiding his way or sitting his way out, breaking the all-time home run record as a catcher. And Carter Jensen, who is a very young athlete, watching Salvador Perez as a kid do all of this and then be able to be the next guy up and be like, man, not only did I grow up watching this guy and win a World Series and hit the game-winning hit in a wild card game, I'm now teammates with him. He's now a mentor to me. And I'm also kind of in this same realm of like, I'm a power-hitting catcher, and I'd love nothing more than to see what maybe that does for me one day. Now, again, 300 home runs, averaging 30 home runs in a 10-year career, not the easiest thing to do.
No.
Salvador Perez obviously missing a full year with that injury.
I would say if he didn't miss that injury, we probably have this done a year ago.
Last year. And so the way they did it, the way that the team embraced it, and now I know that there's a lot of people out there like, okay, they can just move on from this now, but not many things positive have happened this year for the Royals, right? Like we saw the emergence of Jack Caglione. We saw Carter Jensen in this rookie year has been fun. We watched Bobby Witt Jr. start the All-Star game at shortstop. And now you have the Salvador Perez breaking the all-time home run record, surpassing George Brett, who sent out a fantastic video after he did it. And then you take all of that with Steve Stewart's comments and his play-by-play there on the radio, and then think about what Salvador Perez is as a Kansas City Royal and someone who was George Brett, a lifer, a World Series champion, all this sort of stuff. And then Salvador Perez comes in for another generation, multiple generations of kids and adults that now they'll go on in life the way that like my parents and buddies of mine that are older, they're like, man, George was just special. And we'll be those people that'll be like, Salvador Perez is special. And a guy who has 300 plus home runs and 48 in a season to be the, tie of the franchise lead was Jorge Soler as well. Maybe the most thing that you'll remember most about Salvi has nothing to do with his play on the field and just how genuinely nice of a person he is and his smile and how he embraced this city as a kid from Venezuela that grows up his whole life in Kansas City, Missouri.
Well, the thing that's really special about Salvador Perez is that he legitimately has now touched every single living generation of Royals fans. Every generation that is alive right now that is a fan of the Kansas City Royals has had a special sports moment because of Salvador Perez, whether it's, people that are older than me that are the retirees. They got to see Salvi bring pride back to a franchise that they fell in love with in the 70s and 80s. It was one of the premier franchises in baseball. They got to see Salvador Perez lead that organization back as the captain and lead them to 2 consecutive World Series and to win a championship. The young kids that are my kids' age, 16, 15, 17, 18 years old, these kids that are in high school and middle school right now, that was their first image of Royals baseball when they were little kids. My kids were, 3 and 4 when the wild card game happened, right? They were at the wild card game. They fell in love with Salvi that night, as did every kid did. So you have kids that are in love with Salvi. You've got guys that are kind of our age in that middle age kind of category that, vaguely remember the George stuff for you guys, but definitely remember the Salvi stuff. And so there's no player in the Royals history that has touched every living generation right now like Salvador Perez had. He is our George Brett of the times, and he's the second greatest Royal of all time. George will always be the undisputed number one, but Salvi, you can say now, has had a direct impact on every living generation of Royals fans right now. And I think that is really cool to see and to understand that everybody alive right now in Kansas City probably has a favorite Salvi story too.
Yeah, no one doesn't love him from people that have covered him, played with him, worked with him.
Right.
Everyone, just a casual fan on Twitter who's never interacted with the guy. Everybody can tell how infectious and just happy-go-lucky and also driven Salvador Perez is. And you mentioned, sort of growing up after the George Brett era, Bob. Salvador Perez, I was in high school when he broke into the big leagues. Mm-hmm. And just from his debut, obviously back-picking both of the runners, it was an incredible night in St. Pete. But he really helped for me to continue growing and analyzing the game of baseball in terms of being a little kid. You love the home runs and a lot of action. Well, Salvador Perez is calling the game a different way than other catchers call the game. He's holding runners on in ways that you don't see catchers. Like it was just a different lens through which I hadn't yet watched the game as a fan. And so I attribute a lot of my development and just learning the game to Salvador Perez as well.
Yeah, that's really cool because he's probably that first guy you really remember as a kid watching, like your childhood idol growing up. We all have them, right?
Yeah, and I had watched, I mentioned earlier my first game in person was the day after the Beltran trade.
Yeah.
Who just went into the Hall of Fame. So never got to see the Damon Dye Beltran years. Salvador Perez, though, even though I was older, I was in high school, and he's still playing, and I'm pushing 30. He is my favorite athlete of all time,
and it will go down probably to me as a move that can't be duplicated because Dayton did an amazing job with Salvador Perez. They always took care of him, but always still gave him an underpaid salary, which we always goes, man, I can't believe Salvi's taking this and not hitting the open market. So you credit Salvi for being loyal, which is it doesn't happen. It just doesn't, right? Salvi was loyal. The Royals always took care of Salvi before they needed to, but seemingly always, as we always joked about it, underpaid Salvi, but they paid him enough to where he was happy and wanted to be here in Kansas City, and they always took care of Salvador Perez, and he always took care of this organization. And I know at the beginning of the year it wasn't great, and things weren't going well, and he became kind of the the whipping boy in all of this because of his veteran presence, and they weren't moving him out of 3-4 out of the lineup. But he is still so vital to this organization, and to me, he will always be the second greatest Kansas City Royal. Who's number 3rd on that list? I don't know. But for me, it's Alex Gordon. I know some people probably stand elsewhere and decide that maybe Alex isn't the 3rd best Kansas City Royal, but for me, he is. And that's why it's a great conversation because it's so subjective in all of that. But Salvi, man, congratulations. And Steve Stewart, an amazing call. It couldn't have been any better than what we heard from Steve Stewart. That's how good a call that was.
You want to know how impactful Salvador Perez is on my fandom?
Yeah.
I will be in Cooperstown when he gets interviewed.
Yeah.
I've never been.
I've never been up there either.
I want to go.
I've been to Cooperstown, but not for an induction.
Yeah.
It's so, there's the vibes are like tiny town.
Yeah.
It would just be a total Passover city if the Hall of Fame wasn't there. But when you step into the city, you know where you are. I would love to go back for that induction. That would be just the pinnacle of being a Royals fan, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be huge, and it'd be awesome to see him go in, into that Hall of Fame. So the day he's done, count 5 years forward, and that's what he should be, and most likely will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Some not so good news I've got to get into on the other side that involves the wife of Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. She was shot at the couple's home in Virginia. I will explain more on the story on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe Dusty. Weekday mornings starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
It's the law, man. 3-time DUI award-winning attorney in Kansas City. You wanted results? Here you go. First-degree murder charge, dismissed. Felony DUI, dismissed. Felony to misdemeanor, multiple. Felony jury trial, not guilty. Call the law, man. 816-816-9111. Take it away.
The lawman gets results. So the law takes. Call the lawman. Let the fight begin.
Voted by Pitch and Casey Magazine, the choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisements.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
This is the Game of the Week Report, brought to you by Hyundai. Golf fans can look forward to the Global Professional Golf Tournament, taking place August 7th through the 9th in Bedminster, New Jersey. The event will bring many of the league's biggest names together to compete on one of the region's premier courses, offering 4 days of high-level competition as the season continues. The Game of the Week Report is brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Learn how it's so much more than just another SUV at HyundaiUSA.com.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong. Because right now you can get great deals on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Plus, there's our bold and stylish Elantra, loaded with the latest tech, or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9. So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
DQ presents Being a Miracle Maker. July 30th is Miracle Tree Day. You buy a blizzard tree at participating locations, and DQ will donate $1 or more to Children's Miracle Network to benefit your local children's hospital. DQ, happy tastes good.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
East side 70 eastbound bogs down past 23rd. Stays pretty heavy to Van Brunt, then sluggish to 31st with construction down to 1 lane. And through there, Kansas side 435 southbound past Midland with an accident reporting in the construction zone. Delays building from Shawnee Mission Parkway. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts. All right, so I do want to address this article that's been written by Nate Taylor of ESPN. The wife of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy was shot Sunday night at the couple's home in Virginia. The sources told ESPN. According to sources, Maya Bieniemy, 57, has been hospitalized. Police in Loudoun County, Virginia, confirmed that a person was being treated for serious injuries but did not disclose the person's identity. Eric Bieniemy was with the Chiefs earlier Sunday in St. Joe at the campus of Missouri Western State for the team's second practice of training camp. The Loudoun County Sheriff Office spokesperson said Monday that the police arrived at the home located at the 20,000th block of North Park Drive in Ashburn, Virginia at 7:32 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday night. The Chiefs said in a statement that they are aware of the incident involving Eric Bieniemy's family but did not provide further details. As you all know, Eric Bieniemy rejoined the Chiefs early this year as the offensive coordinator, a position he previously held from 18 to 22. That article on ESPN from Nate Taylor, the Chiefs beat writer for ESPN. So the more we know, the more you will know. That is all we know as of right now. As some breaking news has come over the world of sports involving the Kansas City Chiefs and Eric Bieniemy and family.
Wow, I got really nothing to add to that because we don't know anything yet. All we know is it's a very scary situation that is involving Eric Bieniemy right now, and you wish him and his family nothing but the best as they try to figure out, what went wrong. And I'll say this, man, football doesn't matter right now for EB. You got to go. You got to get to take care of things with your wife, make sure she's okay, make sure everything at the house is okay, figure things out, and then you come back when you're ready to come back. And I think as far as I'm concerned right now, Eric, you just go do your thing, bro. You take as much time as you need. We got this here. You don't worry about us here. That's the message that I'm sure Andy Reid is sending with Eric Bieniemy, and he'll go figure out this situation now that involves his wife. What a scary situation. Did you say she's in stable condition or something like that?
Believe so. I've got the article that Nate Taylor
She's
wrote.
Hospitalized.
So I'll give you the information from Nate Taylor of ESPN, the article that is up that came out at 9:46 Eastern, so just about 15-20 minutes ago, our time. The wife of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy was shot Sunday night at the couple's home in Virginia. According to sources, Ms. Bieniemy, 57, has been hospitalized. The police of the county have confirmed that a person was being treated for serious injuries, but did not disclose the person's identity. Bieniemy was with the Chiefs earlier Sunday in St. Joe at the campus of Mo West. Obviously, that's where they do training camp. A spokesman for the county sheriff's office said Monday that the police arrived at the home located at their address in Virginia at 7:32 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. And the Chiefs have said that they are aware of the incident involving Eric Bieniemy's family, but did not provide further details. So hoping the best, speedy recovery, and hoping everything's all right at the Bieniemy household and what's going on with his wife. I can only imagine what that's like.
I can't
being away from home and getting that information.
Getting a call. My God, just getting a call. Like last night, we got a call from my daughter screaming on the phone, the car. Okay, again, as we go out there, the air conditioner was on and there's water, and so, but she didn't know. But just getting a phone call like that, I can't imagine. What that would be like for Eric Bieniemy to receive that type of phone call that your wife has been shot in the home and you need to get home here to Virginia and take care of things. I mean, I can't. And then, and this is what I always think of too. He's got to get on a flight and fly there. Now I'm sure the Chiefs, with their relationship with his executive air share and all that, they took care of EB and they've got him there and he didn't have to deal with the airports. But could you imagine having to get on a plane some 2.5, 3 hours away?
Longest flight of your life.
I mean, my God.
You can't.
There's nothing you can do. You just fly faster. I'm going 500 miles an hour. There's not much more we can do.
Bring that private jet and
but seriously, man, that private jet probably picked him up in St. Joe last night at that executive airport right there across the river. We've all seen that airport in St. Joe, right? It's a military base, I think, as well. Probably picked him up there. He's probably been in Virginia since last night. I would imagine the minute that they got word on something like this happening, Clark and the Chiefs, they had that private jet, and EB was gone, vapor, to get back there to Virginia and take care of business. And things will we'll obviously have to roll on here from a football standpoint. I don't want to hear about football at this point in time because, again, I've received these calls that haven't been anything like that. But when your kid or somebody in your family is in a panic, you freak out. I can't imagine what EB has to deal with right now, man. There's no playbook for this.
What
in
is
life.
it? You said your family, all that matters?
Yeah, that's all that matters. The only ones that matter is our family text thread. Yeah, the only ones that matter is the four of us. And they're learning that every single day. I mean, it really is. It's the only thing that matters for you is your family. And so the EB is going to take care of business, man. It's such a scary situation.
Well, and that's like, even it sounds like she's trending towards being in a somewhat stable condition based on the reporting, and we don't know any of the facts. We don't know about her present right now to this minute condition.
Right.
But that's a moment for Eric himself that I think everyone listening can resonate with, of being one of the worst moments in your life, even if she ends up, hopefully, making it through this, being okay, getting back to herself. That moment is still going to be the worst of his life. You get a call from either a family member who says, hey, are you sitting down? Or from like a first responder asking you if you're related to somebody. I mean, that is, I can't imagine the pit in his stomach. And you're right, how long that flight home must have felt for him.
Oh, it's just incredibly long. I mean, it has to be one of the longest flights in situations that he's ever been in before. And so I'm sure we'll get more as the day goes on. And I don't know, Andy speaks later today, I'm sure, with training camp going on. Maybe he spoke yesterday. I don't know if we'll hear from Andy Reid or anybody involved in the organization. But the one thing you don't want is a bunch of speculation out there, right? And you don't want to have rumors kind of consume this stuff. We deal with this stuff a lot. And people want to get information out first before it's right. And we've decided that we're not going to get anything out there first. We're going to be right about all of this stuff because this isn't something you want to be first with. This is something you want to be right about. And you let the story kind of develop and take care of itself and let the family deal with the stuff that they're dealing with right now, too.
Yeah, because it's interesting because we keep seeing these reports of, houses of NFL stars getting broken into, right?
There was a sting right here in Kansas City.
Kelsey and Mahomes' house were broken into. We obviously remember back in the day, Sean Taylor, that whole situation.
I think Alex Gordon may have got his stuff broken into as well.
I want to say, was it George Kittle? There was another NFL player that it happened to, and I remember they were running a story on the nightly news about how it's happened to other athletes. They brought up Mahomes and Kelsey as well, but
I thought it was Burrow.
Yeah, Burrow was the one. That's right,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow. That's right, it was Joe Burrow. And wasn't it his girlfriend was at the house at the time, or somebody he was seeing or something like that?
Well, she was his stylist at the time, I think. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, your stylist is hanging out at your house.
Interesting. But again, to go back to the story that we just talked about that Nate Taylor did the article on, the wife of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy was shot Sunday night at the couple's home in Virginia. She is in stable condition, according to the police. She's been hospitalized. There is a suspect who had serious injuries, but they did not give out the identity of the name. If we get more news on this, we will give it to you. That's all we know for now. We hope everything is okay with the Bieniemy family, because that is just the most devastating thing you could get a phone call for. And Bieniemy was also in St. Joe when this incident happened at 7:32 p.m. Eastern time in Virginia on Sunday evening. So the more we know, the more you will know. We'll get back into the NFL and keep you updated throughout the morning. And then I'm sure Cody and Gold will have plenty more when it develops as well from 10 to 2, as they are live in St. Joe today on July 27th on a Monday. We'll be right back here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, analytically the best morning radio show in Kansas City, as voted by people.
There's a lot of people talking out of their butt.
Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, my friends over at QC Kinetics are saying, all right, let's feel better together, right? That's what we want to do. But when your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option. But I want you to do your homework. Remember, once a joint's replaced, there's no going back. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients just like you right here in Kansas City. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. And the whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Get a free consultation from QC Kinetics today. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, it's Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Be a part of history by attending Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri this summer and see the Chiefs up close. Make the trip to St. Joe something for you and your family to remember. Go to stjomo.com to view or download a free visitor guide and plan your trip. It's where the Pony Express started and Jesse James ended. That's stjomo.com for all the details to make your trip. Chiefs Training Camp in St. Joseph, Missouri will be one you'll never forget. Produced in cooperation with Visit Missouri.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 101.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back at it on a Monday here in the hot Kansas City. Cody and Gold broadcasting live in St. Joe. 10 to 2 today. They're going to tell you everything you need to know about the Heat. I'll tell you that much. Everything that you're going to need to know about Patrick Mahomes. And I'm sure they will keep you all involved with the story that has broken about 30 minutes ago from Nate Taylor on ESPN. If you've missed it, we just talked about it. But again, just want to let you know, the wife of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy was shot Sunday night in the couple's home in Virginia. Sources have told ESPN. According to sources, Mia Bieniemy, 57, has been hospitalized. Police say in Loudoun County, Virginia, confirmed that a person was being treated for serious injuries but did not disclose the person's identity. Eric Bieniemy was with the Chiefs earlier Sunday in St. Joe, Missouri, at the campus of Missouri Western State for the team's second practice of training camp. The I think it's Loudoun. Loudoun County Sheriff's Office spokesman Leah Powell said Monday that police arrived at the home located at the 20,000th block of North Park Drive in Ashburn, Virginia at 7:32 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. The chief said in a statement they are, quote, aware of the incident involving Eric Bieniemy's family, end quote, but did not provide further details, as the offensive coordinator has been informed that his wife was shot in their home on Sunday evening.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, and it's just kind of been a crazy day, really, in the NFL and in football. I mean, the day started with the GM of North Carolina, Michael Lombardi, being suspended with pay. Now that story has developed even more. Bill Belichick did not do that. That's been based on the Board of Trustees, so, that can't be good. So that was the first story of the day. Then the second story of the day was the Washington tight ends coach fired via Twitter by the Commanders. We have fired our tight ends coach. No further comment at this time. Mm-hmm. You find out he was pinched for a DUI back in June, so maybe that had something to do with it. And then this story, which, is just, insane in and of itself, the Eric Bieniemy story is very scary right now. So that's a lot of stuff that's happened before 10 o'clock this morning here, in the football world on really what is the beginning of training camp today. I mean, everybody's starting to report to camp all over the league and college, and all of these stories are coming out today. And so we'll try to keep you updated, guys, as much as we possibly can. But as I said last segment, and I'll continue to say, we're not speculating on anything involving the Eric Bieniemy situation. We're going to let this thing play out and see ultimately what happened and go based on, real news reports.
Yeah, what we know is what we're telling you. So
right.
Obviously, I trust Nate Taylor with everything that I have and know. And he's released that article on ESPN in case you have missed it. Also, in case you missed it, you see the Bills' new jerseys.
Yeah.
Yay or nay?
I don't know.
So they went with a grayish color as the dominant color, blue numbers outlined in red and white, and then the helmet is different, and it pays homage to like the local workers, like the blue collar workers. And then I think it says "Go Bills" or something on the back.
On the back, yeah.
So
and the helmet is interesting. The logo on the helmet. They did a good job on their website explaining what it is, so but it's basically that little white part that's on the actual bill that's charging on the helmet. They took the bill off, and they just have that with the blue and red. It's kind of cool. I kind of like the helmet from that standpoint, but I'll have to look more and more at the jerseys. More from North Carolina, from Pete Thamel. Per source, this stems from a human resources complaint filed by a former UNC front office employee. There's a pending investigation which led to administrative leave.
There you go.
Hey, man, people just don't learn.
It's just never good if you're told to leave immediately or no further comment on said allegation when it comes to tight end coach in Washington or whatever that may be. So pretty interesting here because we were talking about Mahomes and everything. If I gave you the field and you gave me the Chiefs, you would be the smarter person in the conversation. We think the Chiefs are good. We know Mahomes has got it. We know Andy Reid can get there once the playoffs start and they can get in there. The path is favorable to them and over everybody else. But again, it's interesting to know that if Mahomes doesn't win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl, an NFC team wins it. Now, again, 3 of the 4 times the teams have beaten the Chiefs, right? Or I guess you could say Brady in Tampa Bay, Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. This year, Sam Darnold won it. And then the other year was Matthew Stafford when the Chiefs lose in the AFC Championship game. Burrow had his opportunity. Crossed it off early. No one's ever talking about Josh Allen the way they're talking about him today. It's Mahomes, it's Burrow, or we're having the Burrow.
Would we have Mahomes-Burrow conversations if they had won that Super Bowl?
Oh, you better believe it.
We would. Allen wouldn't be part of the conversation.
Because if you did think about that year, Mahomes would have beaten Allen in the 13-second game. Burrow would have beaten Mahomes in overtime. And then Burrow would have won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And have been like, okay, Can he catch him?
Yeah.
Can he get to 3? Can he get to 2? Can he would have been, would have obviously caught him at that point.
Would we be saying, though, it was an anomaly with Joe Burrow, Dusty, because he hasn't really played much since then, right? Like, what would we be saying? What would the narrative be if Joe Burrow had won that Super Bowl? What would the narrative be about Joe Burrow today? Will he ever get it again? I think would probably be the number one narrative, right?
I think also, like, what would that franchise be forced to do?
Yeah, that's
right.
that's a
they've
good question.
never been
yeah.
there to have that
Right.
with this sort of like future success. I mean, you saw what the Chiefs did. They go to the AFC Championship game, they go to the Super Bowl and win it. And they say, "Okay, Pat, here's the check. You just write in the number." He writes $500 million, and they say, "Sounds good to us." Burrow, if that happens, like, do they invest? Like, you would look at recent history and be like, "No, Cincinnati's never serious," but they've never had this.
Right.
And so I think it'd be interesting. You play the butterfly effect if the fact they do go on and win the World Series, they go and win the Super Bowl. What does that do to that franchise? Is Jamar Chase still there?
Yeah.
Is T. Higgins re-signed? Or do they just go front load the offensive line and protect the future and try to get more and more rings?
They Miami Marlins this thing, don't they? If they would have won the Super Bowl, they never would have signed those guys back. Ever would have signed them back. They would have said, we won a Super Bowl and we're moving on and we're not signing those guys back. I do believe that now. That's what the Cincinnati Bengals would have done. It would have been the Miami Marlins.
Because to be fair, you beat Buffalo 13-second game. You lose to Cincinnati. You get the rematch the next year when they started calling it Burrowhead. You beat Cincinnati there. There's the playoff hatred. There's the all that stuff. And this rivalry is still going to this day. Now it will spark up again this year when they get back and, when they play each other. But again, like, it's almost been more beneficial for Josh Allen than it has been for Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow's at least beaten Mahomes when it matters.
Right.
He's at least played him, twice in the AFC Championship game in back-to-back years, went to a Super Bowl, did lose, and you kind of see all this out in front of you, and you're like, well, this is why you have these conversations with people where it's like, yeah, okay, if Mahomes is the best, then who's the next? And people be like, well, Josh Allen. When's Josh Allen beat Mahomes in the playoffs? Never. Then how can he be better than Joe Burrow?
Right.
Well, Joe Burrow doesn't stay healthy. Okay, well, that's not the conversation. The conversation is when this guy plays this guy, when it matters, who's been more successful? And the answer has always been Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and
over Lamar Jackson, over Josh Allen, over all those guys, it's always been, well, Burrow got him, and Burrow got there.
Right.
And depending on where your eyes lead you to believe that a quarterback has it, some people would say they like the way Burrow does it more so than the way that they see that, Josh Allen does.
Okay, let's say Burrow did win that Super Bowl, right? Would we be tired of Joe Burrow now? Or would we have already written Joe Burrow off going, it was a one-off, he's never going to do it again? Because we've already seen him accomplish, let's just say he won that Super Bowl. We've already seen him accomplish something that Josh Allen couldn't. Are we looking for Joe Burrow's second Super Bowl at this point in time? Or are we saying, hey, man, they're probably only going to get one in Cincinnati, and that's good enough for Joe Burrow?
It also makes you wonder if you'd have the fatigue of the Chiefs. Because you mentioned the 7 years of it's been Mahomes or it's been an NFC team that's won the Super Bowl. If you take out the Brady year, obviously, but would the Chiefs have that long success if Cincinnati had tasted it and gotten it and knew what it meant to them? And then the next year, the Chiefs beat the Cincinnati Bengals, the AFC Championship game. They go to the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl, right? Or whatever. And then the next year, Cincinnati comes back, and it's the Chiefs and Cincinnati in the playoffs. Then you start having
Cincinnati fatigue,
right? And then it's like you never really got tired of the Colts. You got tired of the Patriots,
right?
Because the Colts couldn't beat the Patriots. But if they did, would we have that Patriots fatigue because you'd have other teams in there? And I think at the end of the day, that's what people want. They want this team, then they want this team. Then we go back to this team, and then we want this team. Like nobody.
It probably would have been better for the Chiefs dynasty to have the Bengals win that Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Because we would not be talking about, you're right, we would not be talking about Chiefs fatigue, I don't think.
Yeah, depending on if they were to go straight 3 in a row or whatever it may have been. But, like, who knows? Like, that's the fun part about these conversations, because who knows what that does for the future of Cincinnati? Who knows what that does for the future
I think you nailed it. I think it takes the Cincinnati team and puts it back to where we were used to seeing the Bengals at 5-12 every year. Because I do. The more you've talked about it, dude, I'm like, they probably do sell. Because they won the championship. There's nothing else to do with this group.
Like, we got our guy. We'll give him all the money. We'll just protect him. He's good enough. Chiefs did that.
Yeah.
Chiefs went and got Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey. They went and signed, what's his face with the foxtail? Brown. Is that his name? Not Orlando Brown, but the tackle they had that ended up going to Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah, Brown. Yeah, Orlando Brown, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, they brought in MVS and they went and signed Kadarius Toney and they went and got a draft pick in Sky Moore. Where it's like, well, we know we have Mahomes. He can do this. He's still in his youth. He can make things happen and did.
And did.
You would have that sort of belief in Joe Burrow because he would have done that to the guy that you just talked about, and he can do all this sort of thing. Well, if he can do it, so can he. He's similar in talent. We don't necessarily need to sign both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. We'll sign one.
Yeah.
And then maybe Trey Hendrickson's still on that team. Maybe their offensive line is better. Maybe Burrow decides.
There's such a butterfly effect if they win that Super Bowl.
It really affects everything and affects everybody involved.
Yeah.
So Kirk Herbstreit said he'd take the Kansas City Chiefs over the field.
That's right.
That's egregious.
I think so too, and that's coming from me. You know, I mean, like I got 35-0, 17-0, but I don't think you would be smart. I don't think that's a smart bet, and obviously the reaction is coming because Patrick practiced the other day, which, by the way, according to Alex Gold, Veteran Day off today, so Mahomes is not practicing, so people can calm down a little bit.
Does that mean Justin Fields doesn't have to practice either?
I think
he's like sub-veteran.
I think this is the one where the kid gets to throw a little bit. Yeah, Brad Nussmeier. He gets to do his thing out there. So, but he said that. Yeah, he said he would take the Chiefs over the field this year, and I do. I think that is really egregious. You had mentioned earlier, maybe other than the women's NCAA tournament, you always take the field. And the reason we say the women's NCAA tournament, because UConn wins it almost every year, you'd be a fool to take anybody else other than UConn in this thing. But the NFL is completely different. I think you would be the fool to take the Chiefs over the entire field in this one this year. Even though I feel like they're going to be a great football team, I just think the odds would say things could happen, and maybe you don't have your full complement all year long.
It's almost like you would rather have the other bet you could also say is, I'll take the Rams, you can take the field.
Yeah.
And you still wouldn't do that.
Right.
And the Rams are arguably the best team on paper today. They have the best odds to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
But yet it's still like plus 450.
Yeah.
So it's still 4.5 to 1 odds to do that. Whereas like the field, you'd be in minus money because you've got 31 other teams that you can choose from. You don't do that. You don't take the one team versus the field. Now, I don't know if the Chiefs were to win a Super Bowl, where this one would hang in the Raptors as most impressive one they won. A lot of people might have the San Francisco first one where they were down by 11 and came back in 7 minutes and 37 seconds.
Right.
Some people might have it as the second leg of the three-peat where it's like, oh, you won back-to-back. You put the third ring on your mantle. You're now a proven dynasty. There's no questions about it. You've won 3 titles in 5 years. Enough's enough. But you look at like where this team is this year and what they went through last year, and now, of course, with the story of Eric Bieniemy and the news that came out this morning, where they're going now in this part of the year, they raised the Lombardi, man. You'd have to think this would be one of the most impressive seasons you've ever seen from any team.
If they win the championship this year, it will go down, I think, as the best one, because you got Mahomes coming off the injury, you've got the coaching staff changes, a lot of young new players in there, a total roster kind of rehaul, and Mahomes continues to win with different people. And that's the beauty of Patrick Mahomes, guys, is that he continues to win and continues to do great things with a different cast all the time. You keep mentioning MVS and Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. That gentleman led that group to a Super Bowl championship. And you think to yourself, yeah, that's how everybody kind of gets caught up in what Patrick Mahomes does, because you see him win a Super Bowl with Sky Moore, MVS, and Kadarius Toney, and you're like, as the owner of this team or the coach or the GM, do we really need to get wide receivers? I mean, this guy does it all himself. And so he kind of lulled them into a false sense of what was really going on. But I love the fact if they win it this year, it will be the most impressive one, yeah.
With the knee injury, the offseason, 6-11, is Andy Reid on the verge of getting fired? All these conversations that have, lit up in the city. I think it's just interesting to think like where you would go if they won this title, because this would be Mahomes' 4th ring, right? This would be Andy's 4th ring. Be kind of a good way to go out if you were Andy Reid, if you wanted to.
So.
I mean, why not? But again, how much does he love football to where it's just like, Nathan had said earlier about, Bill Belichick doesn't want to just sit there in the room with his thoughts, like watching that game, be like, man, I could still coach.
Right.
I could still do this. I know what they're playing out there. This is what I would design. So would be quite interesting to see that where they would go. But yeah, I think when it comes to like the NFL, I mean, look, depending on what they do in their first 4 games of the season, which there's maybe in your mind there's at least 2 cupcake games. You know, you've got obviously the opener against the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. Then you play Sunday Night Football against the Colts. Then you go to Miami.
Yeah.
Then you go to Vegas. So Miami, Vegas, probably in your mindset, those are 2 wins. Steal one of the other 2, you're 3-1 going into the bye week. All is well in the city of Kansas City as we wait for week 6 to begin, and then you can start your season moving forward that way. As we know, the gauntlet happens kind of like at the end of November into the middle of December with those, like, what is it, like week 11 through 14 where you're playing those big teams. So, you always take the field. You never take the one team. But again,
But if I was going to give you $1,000 to put on an AFC team other than Mahomes, who are you putting that money on?
I mean,
it's not an easy question.
No, but it's also like, can I get the 1,000 first? But no, I would say probably Buffalo. And I know we just talked about Burrow and Cincinnati and what their offense could look like. We know their division is probably a little bit more competitive than the AFC East. Again, I don't know I don't know necessarily how good New England's going to be in the next year after getting to the Super Bowl, after what they've had this offseason.
And their offseason, I mean.
Kind of an interesting roller coaster it's been with the Rossini and Vrabel stuff, but Drake May tapes out. People know. People are going to find things about you. People did that in the game against you in the AFC Championship game. Your left tackle, we'll see. But again, like now you've got, I think the hardest thing to do is to play that longevity of a season, go all the way there, lose, and then come back. You saw what it did to the Chiefs. They go to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. It's impressive enough. They get absolutely ran out of the Superdome or the Caesars Dome, whatever it is in New Orleans now. And then you got to come back the next year, still on that same short off season, and then go do it again. 6-11 players were checked out by week 10. You had all these sort of issues going on, coordinators that everybody found out who their names were. They revamped that in the offseason. So if I answered your question a long way, I have to take Buffalo.
Okay.
Because I think the Jets and the Dolphins, obviously the Dolphins are doing they're furloughing the season to next year. They're waiting. They dumped a bunch of dead cap. Tua's gone, Waddle's gone, Tyreek's gone. They've got Devon Achane. They've got Malik Willis, who they got in the offseason to maybe be that like sort of Alex Smith guy. Like, hey, come here for a couple of years. We're going to draft a guy in 2027, mentor this guy, and then maybe you go get another contract for another team and kind of do the same thing. We'll find out. I mean, maybe Malik Willis is a franchise quarterback for more than just 2 or 3 years. Looked pretty good last year. Got that contract, obviously, playing for Jordan Love over there in Green Bay. Now in Miami. But with Josh Allen and that team and where they've been over the last 5 to 6 years, leads me to believe that if I ever had to do it, I would go with Buffalo because of the AFC East, because of Josh Allen, and because I just think when it comes to him and Burrow, I trust Allen to stay healthy more than I trust Joe Burrow. Look, I hope Joe Burrow plays 17 games this year. I hope he's out there every game. I hope he's an MVP candidate. I hope the rivalry between Cincinnati and Kansas City is back. I want to see that. I think that makes the season so much more interesting. But money, $1,000, anybody in the AFC other than Kansas City, it goes to the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. What about you, Nathan? Who are you going with
It'd be the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
They have the quarterback that is the only other quarterback in the AFC that I know for a fact, if it says January on the calendar or even February on the calendar, is not going to crap down the side of his leg. The rest of the quarterbacks in the AFC simply have shown you that they will. Josh Allen has shown you that he will. Lamar Jackson has shown you that he will. Of course, Herbert, Lawrence have shown you that they will. Bo Nix, his what was that, a second playoff start in the divisional round last year because they had the one in Buffalo the year before. That it was okay. He played a nice game, but it's been one game. I don't know for sure that Bo Nix has what it takes. I would lean towards yes, but again, Burrow is the only other one that I can guarantee. There's a question if he gets there, but once he does, it'll be good. I'm all the way out on Buffalo, guys.
Okay.
The noise, we act like it just stopped, the noise that was there at the end of last season. They just promoted their OC.
Right.
The ownership issues weren't fixed. The GM issues weren't fixed. And I think we're a year or two away from Josh Allen starting to think about requesting a trade. I genuinely feel that about the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if that happens. It depends on how this coach went. Remember, this was a handpicked coach, it seems like, by Josh Allen, right, to go out there and get this guy himself. And so I look at it and I go, I would lean towards Buffalo, but I don't feel good about it. Burrow, the injury situation, I don't know if he can stay healthy. And I don't know if they can get off to a good start. They've never gotten off to a good start. And if they don't get off to a good September, do they fire the coach? Unlikely because they're cheap. But you have to wonder about the Burrow health, and that's a big thing for me. Until he can prove that he can stay healthy, it's hard to pick him. Josh Allen, I don't believe in Josh Allen in big games, so it's hard for me to bet on him. But also, too, they've got a new head coach in Buffalo. Lamar's got a new head coach. I'm not a Herbert fan. I don't think he's not proven that he can get it done. They've got a new OC out there. Maybe it's Trevor Lawrence, but do you feel good about Trevor Lawrence in a postseason game? I don't particularly feel great about him. C.J. Stroud is another guy that you could mention. Kind of quietly, I think they're going to have a pretty damn good year. They're getting everybody back. They got an offensive line down here. People are down on C.J. Stroud. They may have a pretty good year down there. But I don't know if there really is. And then, of course, New England, I mean, with all the off-the-field stuff that they had, where they're bringing in Diana Ruffini into the press conference, I mean, it's like, what are we doing in New England? So there's not a team out there in the AFC right now that screams to me, you're a guaranteed Super Bowl team. I don't know that there's one in the NFC at this point right now, other than the Rams. That's why I think this league is so wide open this year, and it's going to be so much fun.
More on, I think you kind of mentioned this. This comes from John Keim. He's ESPN Commanders reporter. He says, Ben Steele was charged with DUI on June 7th in Loudoun County.
Same place as
He also was charged with obstruction/resist without force and refused a blood/breath test, according to Loudoun County District Court records.
Okay.
What is going on in Virginia?
But June 7th, Dusty,
Yeah.
it's July 27th.
Correct.
Why did they just now decide to fire this guy?
Maybe they got all their sources and reports, so they know exactly what's in the details of what happened. Like maybe he was shouting some stuff that maybe you just shouldn't have as your, I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think he was on leave in the meantime too.
He
Their report
was.
said that. I think I don't have it in front of me right now. I want to say that like Julian Edelman or someone that like recently retired was like filling in for him in the meantime. But he had been on leave since the incident, and they concluded their investigation. They moved on from him.
And then Lombardi's now on leave at North Carolina, human resources issue down there. And then, of course, the Eric Bieniemy story that we're following today.
Yeah, we'll revamp that as well and get you set up for today. Again, Cody and Gold live in St. Joe from 10 to 2 today. This is Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 have some amazing things going on. And as my kids get older, you start to hear conversations. What are you going to do after high school? Where are you going to go to college? What do you want to do? And for some kids, they're like, I don't know. I don't know if college is the right choice. Well, if you're thinking about maybe doing something different, let me tell you about the apprenticeship program at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. Once accepted, first-year apprentices will begin earning $30 an hour, receive the same premium health coverage, and begin earning credit toward a full pension payable with 30 years of service and at the age of 55. Our apprentices attend daytime classroom training for 5 weeks every year, during which they receive a stipend in place of their normal wages. This ensures our members can fully focus on mastering their trade while continuing to provide for themselves and their families. All apprenticeship training and continuing education is provided at no cost to the members as well. So if you see all those cool things all over Kansas City, the top of Bartle Hall, the Kaufman Performing Arts Center, the Crown at Kaufman Stadium, and you think that would be cool, contact my friends over at the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 and ask about that apprenticeship program. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. Learn more at sheetmetal2.org.
DQ presents Being a Miracle Maker. Making a difference in your community has never been easier because July 30th is Miracle Treat Day at DQ. You buy a blizzard tree at participating locations and DQ will donate $1 or more to Children's Miracle Network to benefit your local children's hospital. So on July 30th, buy a blizzard tree and be a miracle maker, a blizzard eating hero, doing their part on Miracle Treat Day. July 30th, DQ. Happy tastes good.
That refresh you've been putting off until the right deal came along? It's here! Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale is happening now, so you can finally get the style you've been waiting for less. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at Wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home. Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
From backyard barbecues to homegrown herbs, the best parts of summer start at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 Fairy Morse 1.3 quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Whether you're planting something new or giving your garden a refresh, now's the time to make the most of your outdoor space. Save more on what you need this summer at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Brioche of the weekend.
Big brioche guy. Love that. Yeah. Good take.
Final segment here on 9 o'clock in the morning. I will say this, some devastating news coming from the Chiefs, as we talked about earlier with the article that Nate Taylor had put out on ESPN. Our guy Nate Taylor here, that does a lot of work for us. He is the beat writer for the Chiefs of ESPN. The story that came out today, I'm sure Cody and Gold will have more on this as they do their show live from St. Joe. The wife of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy was shot Sunday night at the couple's home in Virginia. Sources told ESPN. Bieniemy's wife, 57, hospitalized but in stable condition. According to sources, police in Loudoun County, Virginia, confirmed that a person was being treated for serious injuries but did not disclose the person's identity. Eric Bieniemy was with the Chiefs earlier Sunday in St. Joe, Missouri, at the campus of Missouri Western State for the team's second practice of training camp. Loudoun County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Leah Paul said Monday that police responded to a report of a shooting at a home located at the 20,000 block of North Park Drive in Ashburn, Virginia at 7:32 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. The Chiefs said in a statement they are aware of the incident involving Eric Bieniemy's family but did not provide further details. The offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy's wife, was shot in their home on Sunday but is in stable condition. According to Nate Taylor, that article on ESPN, if you need to read more, that's what we know. That's all we're been told. I'm sure you will find other people out there or sources out there that will have other information until I know that it is solidified and true. That's what I have for you. It's Nate Taylor's article. So just, prayers for the Bieniemy family. But it was a weekend. We do have our brioches of the weekend as we can get into that, Nathan.
Brioche of the weekend.
Big brioche guy. Love that. Yeah. Good take.
Brioche of the weekend, as we kind of light the hearts up a little bit here on a Monday morning. My brioche of the weekend goes to the Kansas City Royals. Salvador Perez breaks George Brett's record. I happened to be home on Saturday when this was happening. They played, I believe, at like 12:40, so I kind of like that game on the weekends. Obviously, I'm going to tune in as much as I can to the Royals before Mac's wedding, which was this Saturday. And I thought it was cool when he broke the record because the entire team was behind Salvador Perez at the end of the game when he does those interviews with Joel Goldberg.
Yeah, it's cool.
From Joel being like, hey, let's do this together, and they get the ice bucket, the Salvi splash, all that sort of stuff. The whole team behind him, knowing that about 3/4 of those guys behind him in Cags and Carter and all these guys grew up watching Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
And to see that team kind of come out and show the support for Salvador Perez lets you know that, yes, a season that has been doom and gloom and has been terrible, had a moment, at least for a little bit, when it was the tying home run on a Friday after a Thursday afternoon or whatever it was, Wednesday afternoon in Kansas City, and then breaks the record on Saturday in Detroit as he surpasses George Brett from the Brett video that he retweeted or that he posted and put it out on social media, to the team standing behind Salvador Perez, to the city loving this even though they're not loving this season. It just embodies everything that was Salvador Perez, and it really kind of gives us the definition of what a brioche of the weekend is, which it was sweet. It was savory. You enjoyed it. Steve Stewart's call that we played multiple times. The Royals giving you some sort of light at the end of this dark tunnel of the season. Also been playing pretty good ball during the All-Star, since the All-Star break, but it's a little too late. But Salvador Perez and the teammates all behind him in that post-game interview was my brioche of the weekend this past weekend.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for Salvi. Even better call, as you mentioned, by Steve Stewart. Everything was perfect with the Salvador Perez thing. My brioche of the weekend is going to our friend Jen, who had just moved back from Los Angeles, and we're very excited to have her back into town. If you see her rolling around Kansas City, make sure you say hello. She got a new job with the Archdiocese, and she's been gone living in L.A. for 20-some years and just decided, you know what, I'm done. It's time to come back and hang out with the Fescoes and all of her other friends and family members that live here in Kansas City. But I couldn't be happier because she is the perfect friend for my wife. She's a wonderful friend. She's not a fake friend. I love her to death, and I'm so happy she's here in Kansas City. So, Jen, welcome home. We'll get your parents' lawn looking good with Aspen at aspenlawn.com.
I will go with, it might be considered a moral victory here. Noah Cameron really showed out on Friday night in Detroit. And it came in a loss. It was after Beckway opened, gave up 2 runs in the first, and the Royals were facing Tarek Skubal. So you knew the game was pretty much already over. He went 7 shutout innings and struck out 8 guys, 2-hit baseball during that time. Noah Cameron is a guy that last year, that ERA was flirting with 3, and this year it's been flirting with 5 and 6. And this outing got it back below 5. He's a guy we have forgotten when we talk about 2027 and the future of this rotation. The next couple of months, sure, we're looking at guys like Avila. I know Vern tells you Lurinder Avila is the biggest story the rest of this season, and he's right. Man, Noah Cameron, and whether or not that is for real or last season was a total mirage, is also a big story. So, yeah, props to Noah Cameron. Hope he can build on what he did Friday night. And yes, it wasn't a loss in a lost season, so maybe it's a moral victory, but still encouraged by what he showed in Detroit.
Yeah, that is the definition of a moral victory, but at this time of the year, you're looking for them, You're looking for something positive, and those 2 things over the weekend, were pretty good. And this is the time of the year they play good baseball. Everybody goes, where's this been all year? Because it's always too little, too late for these guys.
Somebody from the 816, my brioche is for the Maxter, and then from the 816, another one. Why isn't Max brioche of the weekend? Because he had an outside wedding in Kansas in the middle of July. Yeah. I kid. I love the kid. We had a great time. He sang all the small things. Brock played a song before they were getting
Shout
ready
out to the old number 5s. They were great.
Big fan of those guys.
They
Brock
were
and Watson, they rocked the house.
Oh, Cracker Barrel fired their CEO today.
You get a DUI in June?
No.
Also, what is an OWI? Operating while intoxicated?
Yeah, I read this,
and
I don't know.
Tony Romo thing, by the way.
And I don't know if this is correct or not. Like, DUIs are not felonies in Wisconsin. I don't know if that's the case or not, but my daughter had to take a traffic class this weekend because of the accident, and she came home from that with every DUI thing in the book, which was the greatest thing ever, that she went to that traffic class to learn what drinking and driving could potentially do and all the traffic stuff. So she came back pretty, fired up and getting some of that information. But Tony Romo, man, like...
that mugshot was something.
Oh, my God, that was something else, wasn't it?
I thought maybe he thought he was getting out of it.
That's what I thought, too. Let me call Nance or the president,
I was just talking to Nance. Shot 35 over.
Yes, that was the other thing. He shot 35 over and then got bagged for an OUI or OWI.
OWI.
Operating while intoxicated. They just had to watch his golf game and figure that out.
Yeah. Tony, what do you got for the drive home? I don't know, Jim.
Yeah. Look out, Jim.
These lines are blurry, Jim.
Take the keys. I mean, it's insane.
He really fumbled that one.
He really did.
Worse than against Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, come on, man.
I wonder, honest to God, now that this has happened, I wonder if he becomes a better broadcaster.
He just locks in all areas of his life.
All right. Well, this was a big, got to reset, got to reset everything. Got a good opportunity here, a good career opportunity, obviously.
Right.
Don't mess that up, Tony. Come on now. Use this DUI and use it as a way to kind of reset everything. You got lucky. You're lucky it was in Wisconsin.
That's like the biggest party capital in the world.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, is it Madison where they have their university? That's like the number one party school in the United States.
Now, here's the statement from the police office in Loudoun County, Virginia right now.
Okay.
The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that occurred in the 2 million block or whatever it is of North Park Drive. At approximately 7:32, deputies responded to a report of shooting. Deputies located one adult female suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. She was transported to a hospital. Elijah Zion Bienemy, 27 of Ashburn, was arrested and charged with malicious wounding, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and discharge of a firearm inside of a dwelling. He was transported to the Loudoun County Adult Detention Center, where he's held without bond. The investigation is ongoing, and there is not believed to be any threat to the public. Anybody with more information can call the TIPS hotline. And then they have a booking photo of Elijah Zion Bienemy.
Oh, boy.
What a heartbreaking day for that family, man.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the Stars got it as well. Tough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how I can't say this at a better time. Please, please, please go do something nice for somebody. You never know. Could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay groovy, stay safe. Coming up next, more